Haha, finally appeared, the captain's iron sand giant. This time the iron sand giant is very different from the last time. It looks much clearer and stronger. Of course, the captain is now in Devil Fruit's awakening state. Moreover, these iron sands have been continuously magnetically tempered by the leader, especially after Devil Fruit awakens. Each of them contains a huge magnetic force. They can be easily controlled without the captain's consumption of any power. The power of terror. Seeing everyone from the Charlotte family rushing up, everyone from the Gabriel Pirates also rushed out, as if a team battle was about to begin. However, everyone in the Charlotte family is very disdainful of the Gabriel Pirates. In their eyes, Bonus and others are just a group of trashfish who have just entered the new world. No one in the Gabriel Pirates group can make them pay attention to them except Yuri. Bonus and others also saw the disdainful gazes of the Charlotte family, one by one showing an angry look. But now both sides are still very restrained, because now they are not the protagonist. There are two monsters fighting in front of them, and until they decide the victory or defeat, any battle between them is meaningless. And if it is affected by their battle, it is very dangerous. Thinking of this, the two sides have retreated some more. Do you think some sand can deal with me? Big Mom said with a sneer. Hee hee. Most of those who say the same thing as you. The grass is already 3 feet tall. Yuri. Compare me with those fried fish. Who do you think I am? Big Mom was furious, raising the sword in his hand and cutting it towards Yuri on the iron sand giant. With a wave of his hand, he saw a huge slash ripping the air and flying towards Yuri. Dang. The iron sand giant raised his palm and caught the slash. The slashing of Big Mom is extremely terrifying, and the slashing edge constantly impacts the claws of this iron sand giant. At this time, the iron sand giant's arm was shot with electricity, and the claws buzzed, and the speed of the iron sand vibration on it instantly increased several times. Each iron sand exudes a powerful tearing edge. With the edge of ultimate, the iron sand giant's palm squeezed, and Big Mom's slash was crushed. Even so easily crushing Mother's slash, this iron sand giant is much stronger than it looks. Perispero exclaimed. Although this iron sand giant is huge, it is just a pile of iron sand. But now it seems that the strength of this iron sand giant is much stronger than it looks. The original iron sand giant, because the iron sand is really not very strong, after a powerful blow, it will naturally collapse. This can be seen from the battle against Sakazuki. Even the iron sand giant of Masaka Makoto in the original book is also easily defeated. But the iron sand giant's iron sand is gathered by electromagnetic control. The strength of the electromagnetic also determines the power of the iron sand giant. As long as the electromagnetic is strong enough, the iron sand giant will also become stronger. Most of these iron sands have been tempered by Yuri for a long time with magnetic fruits, and each iron sand contains strong magnetic force. Plus Yuri is now awakening from Devil Fruit. The control of magnetism has risen several levels from the previous ignorance. You know that Yuri is a person with the ability of magnetic fruit, his strongest is actually magnetic. Under his overriding control, as long as he wants, these iron sand condensed things can be as strong as diamonds. It can be said that the former iron sand giant was just a Zaibe goods. It looks huge, but its combat effectiveness is not too strong. But now the iron sand giant is completely different. After crushing the Big Mom's slash, the iron sand giant let out a loud roar, and then the 5 claws slapped Big Mom with endless sharpness. Don't think that an iron bump can deal with me. Big Mom shouted, and the huge long sword in his hand was cut out, and it collided with the iron sand giant's hand, and the powerful force slapped the iron sand giant's hand back. Clang! 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 Yuri controlled the iron sand giant, hitting Big Mom claw after claw. But facing the giant claws of the iron sand giant, Big Mom beat him back without showing weakness. The clash of long swords and iron claws continued to sound, sparks splashed in all directions. With the help of a human body, Big Mom has the power to crush the giant of 100 meters high iron sand. Damn it, it's endless. Even though Big Mom had beaten all the attacks back, it was still furious. At this time, he's struggling to cut out with a sword, a huge iron claw flew up, and Big Mom slashed one of the iron sand giant's arms with a strong sword. It's a very good attack. It cuts my iron sand giant's arm away with a single sword, but for the iron sand giant, any damage is just regeneration. Yuri said lightly. Just after Yuri's words fell, the iron sand arm that had been chopped off to the ground turned into iron sand and flew up, returning to the iron sand giant's shoulder to form an arm again. In a blink of an eye, an intact iron sand giant appeared in front of everyone again. Even when Big Mom saw this place, his eyebrows were deeply furrowed, and his face showed a somber and solemn expression. Do you still think that the power of my devil fruit is not qualified to be the 4 emperors? Yuri said lightly, looking down at Big Mom. It's just a speculation, Big Mom said with a sneer. Then let you see the power of opportunism, Yuri said with a sneer. Control this iron sand giant to fight with Big Mom again. Oh, the battle is fierce. Paluzalino, Gabriel Yuri's strength has become much stronger. Sakazuki frowned and said. Have you grown to this point? Gabriel Yuri can even fight Big Mom. Sengoku. This time we Marine must eradicate this threat. Marine Vice Admiral. In a piece of water far away from Solomon Island, a huge marine fleet is parked there. Several men in marine coats on the marine warship are staring at the battle here with binoculars. Just a look at the marine lineup on this warship is enough to make all the pirates afraid of it. Marine Admiral, the future Marine Marshal Sengoku. Marine Hero Garp. Marine Alternate Admiral Sakazuki. Marine Alternate Admiral Paluzalino. There are more than a dozen Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral behind, each of which is fighting on the front line of New World, and they are all well known. Such a lineup is enough to attack the 3 emperors of New World, but the other pirates didn't even notice it? The Big Mom pirate group is one of the 3 emperors of New World. With such a huge force and combat power, how could Marine be silent? And when Big Mom came out in a mighty state, there was no way to hide its traces, so Marine naturally got the news the first time. The things and objects that can make the Big Mom pirates fight such a big fight can be imagined, because there are only a few. During this period of time, the other 3 emperors and the big pirates did not move, then it can be concluded that Big Mom's target is the Gabriel pirates. Sengoku and others who came to New World because of Yuri have not yet returned to Naval Headquarters, so they acted immediately. By the time they arrived, Yuri and Big Mom had been at war for a while. At this time, Marine was surprised to see Yuri and Big Mom fighting. I didn't expect Yuri to be able to fight Big Mom to this level. If you want to get rid of it, it's better to wipe out the Big Mom pirates, Sakazuki said coldly. Indeed, this opportunity is rare, Paluzalino also said thoughtfully. Big Mom's lair was a piece of iron barrels operated by Big Mom. It can no longer be said to be a pirate group, but a kingdom with powerful forces. Marine wants at least a dozen or hundreds of thousands of troops to attack all nations. Even Marine has no way to gather such a huge force to New World. This time Big Mom is out of all nations, and Marine has so much combat power here. It is definitely an excellent opportunity to win Big Mom. Hearing what Sakazuki and Paluzalino said, Sengoku hesitated and said, Big Mom is not so easy to deal with. Even if we have gathered such a powerful and terrifying force now, there is still no absolute against the Big Mom pirates. Odds. After a pause, Sengoku said again, but if the time is right, you can try to keep the Big Mom pirates together, and they will keep a part of them at Rear Admiral. Hearing Sengoku's words, all Marines present became excited. Once again, Marine's combat power is not weak. Although Sakazuki and Paluzalino have not officially become Marine Admiral, they already have the strength of Admiral. Adding Sengoku Admiral, Marine Hero Garp, there are almost 4 Admiral-class combat powers here. In addition, there are more than a dozen Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral. If such a force is only to capture a Gabriel pirate group, everyone will inevitably have a low morale. It's not that Gabriel Yuri is not strong, it's not that Yuri's threats are not enough. From the current battle, it can be seen that Gabriel Yuri is very strong and can compete with the Big Mom of the 3 emperors. It is a proper Sea Emperor level powerhouse. Once the 4th Sea Emperor appears in New World, then it is for Marine. The threat is great. But now Gabriel Yuri's reputation is still too low. Although Marine is offering Gabriel Yuri a billion Baileys, in the eyes of the world, Gabriel Yuri is just a hairy kid who has just entered the New World. Marine dispatched enough troops to attack the 3 emperors to capture a pirate who had just entered the New World. Ordinary people would only feel that Marine was incompetent when they knew it. But if Big Mom can also be captured, it is definitely a major event that can make a sensation in the world, and it can also have an absolute deterrent effect on pirates, which will change the situation of the entire sea. Haha, kill Big Mom and this kid named Gabriel Yuri. Interesting. Garp also said with bright eyes and started to try. He had been paying attention to the battle between Yuri and Big Mom just now, and he had already had the urge to fight. Now that he heard Sengoku was going to kill them all, Garp had an urge to rush up immediately. Garp, calm down, it's not the time yet, at least when they are exhausted, is the best time for us to take action, Sengoku said. It's boring, but if you want to wait for Big Mom to get exhausted, you have to wait. It's Gabriel Yuri, who is already a little tired now, and now is the best time to kill, Garp said. It seems that Gabriel Yuri is still a little bit behind the 3 emperors, Sengoku said. Admiral, how do I feel that Gabriel Yuri is delaying time now? You see that his attack is not hurried or slow, not violent. Is he regaining his strength? At this time, a Marine Vice Admiral said. It would be troublesome to wait for him to regain his strength. Or we will kill him now. If he really regains his strength, we are facing 2-3 Emperor-level combat strengths, said a Marine Vice Admiral. Calm down, it's not working right now, that guy is brewing something. There is a huge amount of electricity inside that iron sand giant, Sengoku said. Indeed, the electric power in that iron sand giant is so huge that it has a peculiar ability to convert magnetism into electricity, Garp said with a smile. Hearing Sengoku Garp's words, everyone turned their eyes to the iron sand giant. The fighting on Solomon Island continued. Big Mom has cut off the sharp claws from the iron sand giant several times, but no matter how many times she cut it, it only takes a little time for the iron sand giant to reorganize and regenerate. And even without claws, the iron sand giant can disperse countless iron sand whips attacks. Entangled until now, Big Mom is very impatient. After severing one of the iron sand giant's claws again, Big Mom exclaimed, "Damn it, don't think I don't know what you are thinking. My old lady is Big Mom, Waiguo." While speaking, a sword slashed out mightily, and the huge slash rushed straight towards Yuri on the head of the iron sand giant. "Good job, Big Mom will show you my opportunistic power today," Yuri shouted. The big mouth of the iron sand giant, the huge energy in the iron sand giant gathered in its mouth. At the same time as the mighty slash came, a huge thunder cannon shot out from its mouth with a sharp edge to destroy everything. The shining thunder light shone brightly, and for a time the world was white and vast, and many people's eyes were irritated by the light and couldn't see anything. The thunder cannon brought the Supreme Kamui and instantly collided with Waiguo. Easily blocked the prestige, and quickly tear open the prestige. Called at Big Mom with a momentum like a broken bamboo. How is this possible? Big Mom showed an unbelievable look. How could Yuri have such a terrifying power? The Liguang cannon was too fast, and just as Big Mom was shocked, the speed of light had broken through the majestic slash and shot in front of her. Boom. In Big Mom's shock, a huge thunder cannon hit her, a violent explosion resounded, and the entire island shook. A terrible mushroom cloud lifted up, the explosion roared, and the world lost its voice for a while. Mother. How so? What was that just now? How could it have such a terrifying power? It's the huge energy condensed in the iron sand giant. But how can this iron sand giant have such terrifying energy? With Gabriel Yuri's strength, it is absolutely impossible to gather such terrifying energy. Now is not the time to think about it. Mom will be fine, right? Such an attack, even Mother is dangerous, right? This is how to do. After the roar disappeared, everyone in the Big Mom pirate group looked at the exploding mushroom cloud and exclaimed one by one. Haha, is this the trick that the captain has been brewing? It's really scary. Yuri can convert magnetism into electricity. The iron sand usually contains huge magnetic force under Yuri's tempering. When these magnetic forces are transformed into electricity, terrible electricity can be brewed. Iron sand friction can also generate electricity. The laser beam shot out, and the power accumulated for a long time burst out suddenly. Even if it is Big Mom, it is not an opponent, Robin said. What is this? Marine Vice Admiral exclaimed. Hey, how come it resembles Pelusalino's ability? Garp said with a smile. It's indeed a laser beam, but it's a little different from mine, and the energy of this attack is too huge, I can't release it, Pelusalino said with a cold sweat on his forehead. Even he can hardly burst out such a terrifying beam. Big Mom won't be defeated in this way, a Marine Vice Admiral exclaimed. Hearing what he said, the other Marines all looked at each other in amazement, with a look of horror in their eyes. This blow has almost exhausted the energy accumulated by the iron sand giant. It is time, Sengoku said with a flash of light in his eyes. At this time, the mushroom cloud gradually disappeared. The smoke dissipated, revealing the situation after the explosion. I saw a deep pit appeared at the location where the laser beam attacked at the speed of light. The face in the big pit turned into a piece of magma due to the attack of the terror light cannon, and the flames were still burning everywhere. And a person is lying on the ground in the ground full of magma. Mother. Mom, it's impossible. How could Mother be defeated, right? Hurry up and save my mother, otherwise. When they saw the Big Mom lying in the big pit, even if they had expected it, they were still shocked when they saw the Big Mom being knocked down to the ground. Seeing this situation, everyone from the Big Mom pirate group rushed out for the first time. Seeing the people from the Big Mom pirates rush up, everyone from the Gabriel pirates also rushed out. At this moment, Big Mom's fingers moved, and then his arms moved, and his body slowly climbed up. Mom is fine, that's great. I just said how could something be wrong with my mother? Very good. Seeing Big Mom stand up, everyone in the Charlotte family said excitedly. Although Big Mom looks extremely embarrassed now, his whole body is jet black, his clothes are torn, and many places are stained with bloodline. But as long as she is okay, it won't take long for her to be another 3 emperors. There is nothing wrong with this kind of attack, it's really a monster, the Gabriel pirates said in disbelief. Gabriel Yuri. Big Mom looked at Yuri very angrily, but she didn't kill Yuri again. Hee, is Big Mom coming to fight again? Yuri didn't care about Big Mom's murderous eyes. At this time, electric sparks flashed across the body of Big Mom from time to time. Although the blow just didn't kill her, the thunder cannon still poured into her body, wrecked, and caused great damage to her. She is now even more paralyzed. I am afraid that she will not even have half of her combat power, and she will not be able to recover in a short time. It was also her monster-like physique. If it were someone else, even if she was immortal, she would be unable to move even if she had been electrically paralyzed by the moving bullet. Big Mom looked at Yuri very ugly. Everyone in the Charlotte family also looked at the Gabriel pirates in a gloomy manner, and as long as the ant gave an order, they would try their best to tear them apart. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, a shell sounded. Everyone turned their heads and looked, only to see marine warships appearing on the sea, and shells were hitting here. The pirate ship of the Big Mom pirate regiment docked on the coast was hit by this shell, and many ships were directly sunk. It's Marine. Look at that, as Garp's warship. And Marine Admiral Sengoku. Seeing these marine warships appearing on the sea, everyone in the Big Mom pirate group changed their faces and exclaimed. Marine warships generally have the logo of the commander in command of this warship to deter pirates. Marine Hero Garp, Marine Admiral Sengoku warships are very special, many pirates can recognize them at a glance. In addition to the mighty dozen or 20 huge warships next to it, such a large warship is not eligible for general marine generals. This means that in addition to Sengoku Garp, there are at least a dozen naval headquarters vice admiral. With such a mighty marine fleet, even the Big Mom pirates' complexion changed drastically. Sengoku and Garp, are you here after smelling it? Big Mom also showed a gloomy look. Faced with such a huge fleet, then Big Mom didn't dare to care about it. Especially now, her combat power is greatly lost, facing Sengoku Garp, and there is no chance of winning at all. As expected, it's the resourceful General Sengoku, it's a good time. Yuri looked at the Marine who appeared and was also surprised. Captain, what can first do? Marine Admiral Sengoku and Marine Hero Garp are not easy to deal with, and I also saw the flags of Sakazuki and Paluzolino on the marine warship. Bej said in a cold sweat. Is Big Mom going to fight? Compared to me, Marine must be more interested in you, the 3 emperors of New World. Yuri ignored Bej and said to Big Mom instead. Do you think the old lady would be afraid of Marine? Big Mom said. If it's normal, you wouldn't be afraid, but now, how much strength can you show? Yuri said with a smile. Hearing Yuri's words, Big Mom's eyes narrowed. Mama, okay. Gabriel Yuri, this time the account will be calculated later, now let's join hands to deal with Marine. Big Mom said with a smile. Big Mom, what do you take me for? You hit the door on your own, and you want me to put it down gently? Who do you think I am? Yuri said coldly at Big Mom. Marine's main goal is you, not to mention that we are just a few people. If you want to leave, it is very simple. I use iron sand to fly away with my men. Even Marine does not want to catch up with us, and even first can help Marine you are dragging here. Yuri said with a smile. Hearing Yuri's words, everyone in the Big Mom pirate group changed their faces. Gabriel Yuri, you came to the Solomon Islands to make it your own base nest, right? What's more, the Marine chased by Marine runs away like a mourning dog, can't you become the Emperor of the Sea? Keita Curry said lightly at this time. That's right, I'm really planning to build this place into my own nest. First, don't want Marine to run away, but I can't tolerate it so easily after someone hits the door. Yuri said with a smile. What do you want? It's not good for us to start the war now. I think if you want to continue fighting, you won't say this. Don't talk nonsense, time is running out. Keita Curry said lightly. There is one thing that you said. If you want to become 4 emperors, can you run away if you meet Marine? But it's not that easy for me to let go of the festival earlier, so why should I compensate me? Yuri said with a smile. Are you taking advantage of the fire? Extortion hit the old lady. Who do you think I am? Big Mom said angrily. If someone offends you, you wouldn't let it go so easily, would you? It's you who did it first. If it wasn't for Marine to come out to spoil the situation this time, you would be my subordinate defeated today. It is only a matter of course that I want some compensation. What, do you think my old lady will lose to you? This is the case, Big Mom. I admit that you are a monster, but don't you think that I am a monster who developed devil fruit to such a degree? It is also a monster. You did not put me on a level, that is, you are the biggest I've been prepared for a long time to deal with you. Today, you are destined to lose. Yuri said. Gabriel Yuri. Big Mom said with a very ugly face. Mom. Let's think of a way to deal with Marine first, and see what conditions he has. Keita Kuri said. That's right, Mother, Sangoku Garp is not that easy to deal with. Perispero also persuaded. Marine's shells continued to roar, and the Big Mom pirates' ships on the coast had been destroyed in large numbers. There are still some soldiers on the Big Mom pirate ship, who are organizing a counterattack. However, because a large number of soldiers had just attacked the island and was destroyed by Yuri, and there was no commanding personnel, the bombardment of the Big Mom pirates was at a disadvantage. The most important thing was that Marine's warships were getting closer, and things became extremely urgent. Mama, what you said is right. If someone offends me, I will definitely not let it go. Let's say, what do you want? Big Mom's gloomy face suddenly changed 180 degrees, and a gloomy smile appeared on his face. I'm not too much. I do plan to build the lair of the Gabriel pirates here, but there is nothing here. I want you to help me build a city afterwards. This is very simple for you, you're Hormes soldier. But the best labor, Yuri said. Mama, you know how to calculate. Hello, Gabriel Yuri, you don't plan to do this in the first place, do you? Bastard, Big Mom said. What do you mean? Yuri said with a smile. Asshole, don't think that this matter will be forgotten. Sooner or later, I will get back this account even with profits, Big Mom said angrily. Those who are defeated by me are destined to be left far behind by me. You will never have a chance to defeat me, Yuri said confidently. You dare to say, Gabriel Yuri, I agree to this matter, but the premise is that you can hold it here. If you can't even hold your own nest, a bereavement dog is not qualified to make a condition with me. Then the conditions are fulfilled. I hate people who don't keep their promises, and if they don't keep their promises, I will be very angry, Yuri said. You still think about how to guard this place, Peros, let's go. I won't help you guard this place, Big Mom said. Okay, Mom. The Big Mom pirate group immediately ran towards their pirate boat. After the members of the Charlotte family came back, their pirate group's counterattack finally started in order. And they gave up a large number of ships and drove several large pirate ships while fighting and retreating. Marine parted out and chased towards the Big Mom pirate group. And the remaining part went so far as to continue to kill towards the Solomon Islands. Hee, Marine is going to catch us all at once, Yuri said with a smile. What should the captain do now? There are still a large number of Marines coming to us, Bej and others said in a cold sweat. This is our old nest. I didn't give up the truth here easily, and our old acquaintances seem to miss us very much, but they won't let us go easily, Yuri said with a smile. Burning River Great Eruption. Just as Yuri's words fell, a strong voice sounded. Immediately the temperature of the surrounding space was extremely high, and a huge lava fist hit Yuri on the head of the Iron Sand Giant. Hee, I haven't seen you for a while, you have become stronger, Sakazuki. The same shot of the Iron Sand Giant hits with Sakazuki's Great Eruption. After a few months, Sakazuki's strength has become much stronger. It can be seen from the temperature of his lava. The hot lava made the Iron Sand Giant's claws burn. But it's not only Sakazuki who gets stronger. The thunder and lightning flashed on the Iron Sand Giant's arm, and the Iron Sand owner's 5 fingers shook the Iron Sand Ultimate, exuding a powerful edge. The 5 fingers squeezed hard, crushing Sakazuki's Great Eruption fist, and magma splashed out. Sakazuki retracted his arm, and the arm returned to its normal state. He stepped on Moonwalk and looked at Yuri with a gloomy face. After the Battle of Barlow Island, Sakazuki worked desperately in combat training to improve his strength. I look forward to meeting Yuri next time and crushing Yuri with absolute strength. He thought that he had become much stronger during this time, but he didn't expect Yuri to improve more than him. Yuri's tone was high just now, as if looking at him from the top. Such praise sounds ironic to Sakazuki. Gabriel Yuri, today I am here to pick you up to Impel Down. You will spend the rest of your life in Impel Down. Suddenly Sakazuki sneered and said provocatively. No, Impel Down can't hold us, Yuri said with a smile. For criminals like you, Impel Down is your best place to go. At this time, each figure flashed, and dozens of generals wearing marine coats quickly appeared, surrounding Yuri and the Gabriel pirate group, including 7 or 8 naval headquarters vice admiral. Do you want to catch us just by relying on you? As Yuri spoke, the big mouth of the Iron Sand Giant under his feet opened again, and powerful energy gathered in its mouth. It's the thunder cannon just now. Can such an attack still be used? Isn't it said that the blow just now has exhausted its energy? Seeing the thunder cannon flashing in the mouth of the Iron Sand Giant, Marine commanders looked shocked. They still have lingering fears about the blow they just received, and even Big Mom, one of the three emperors, fell to the ground by that blow. In the shock of everyone, the lightning cannon had burst out at the Marines. It's just some residue left, what's to be afraid of? At this moment, a figure flickered and quickly appeared, punching the thunder cannon. Someone took the initiative to take the thunder cannon with a physical body? Boom. Lei Guangzhan was actually blocked, and under this punch, the Liguang cannon was torn apart by an invisible force, and finally lost to the invisible. Someone knocked out the captain's thunder cannon with one punch. That's the thunder cannon that can severely damage Big Mom, but it was killed by a punch? Because of the strong light of the thunder cannon, everyone around did not see clearly who the figure appeared. But everyone was shocked. Someone easily knocked out Yuri's terrifying thunder cannon with one punch. Finally, as the thunder cannon was extinguished and the strong light disappeared, Bej and others finally saw clearly who this figure was. This look scared them and the cold sweat came out. Garp. Marine hero Garp. How could it be him? Didn't he go after Big Mom? The person who appeared turned out to be Marine Vice Admiral Garp, who is also known as the Marine Hero. This is a monster who is not weaker than Marine Admiral Sengoku. And in terms of prestige, Garp is far above Marine Admiral Sengoku. He is the Marine Hero Garp who runs around after the One Piece, a living Marine legend. It is also Marine's strongest force. Unexpectedly, he didn't go after Big Mom, but stayed to deal with Yuri. Marine really looked at me, and even left this old lunatic, Yuri said with a smile. Haha, it's really thunder and lightning, it's a bit paralyzed. But is the power of your thunder cannon only this? Garp shook his arm and said. What a terrifying armament hockey, a monster, Yuri said. Although this thunder cannon can't be compared with the blow against Big Mom just now. But it is still very scary, and not everyone can take it. But Garp easily wiped out this thunder cannon, as if it hadn't been affected in the slightest. Yuri clearly saw that just after the blow, a terrifying armament hockey blasted out of Garp's fist, easily tore off the thunder cannon, and wiped out the. Haha, that's amazing, Garp Vice Admiral. Of course, Garp Vice Admiral is a Marine hero, and Roger One Piece was chased by him. If Garp Vice Admiral had not repeatedly refused to be promoted to Admiral, it would have been Marine Admiral. Seeing Garp punch out the terrifying thunder cannon, nothing happened, which immediately boosted the morale of all Marines. In this sea of supremacy, there is nothing more reassuring and inspiring than a powerful monster as a companion. Gabriel Yuri, just grab it with your hands, there is no possibility that you will run away today, Sakazuki said coldly. Escape? Today I have no plans to escape, Yuri said lightly, while the iron sand giant under his feet stretched out an arm and aimed at Sakazuki. This action is a super electromagnetic gun, Sakazuki said. Boom. A ray of light shot out from the iron sand giant's hand, instantly passing the distance between it and Sakazuki and hitting Sakazuki. With a flash of light, Sakazuki's upper body was shot through and blown out in an instant. Sakazuki Vice Admiral. How is it possible? How could Sakazuki Vice Admiral be blown up like this? Is this Gabriel Yuri's super electromagnetic gun? What a terrifying speed and power. Seeing that Sakazuki's upper body was easily blown up, the Marines all exclaimed. But they just finished exclaiming. Magma emerged from Sakazuki's lower body, and his body began to deform. In a blink of an eye, a Sakazuki appeared in front of everyone again. Great, Sakazuki Vice Admiral is fine. I just said how could Sakazuki Vice Admiral be defeated so easily? It's Sakazuki Vice Admiral, but Logia Devil Fruit ability. Physical attacks will not affect him. The Marines said with a smile. Isn't armament hockey used on the captain's electromagnetic gun? Forgot to use it? It should be. No, I just felt the smell of armament hockey on it. No, how could it be useless to Sakazuki Vice Admiral at all? The Gabriel Pirates group said in surprise. Marine also has this question, they also feel the armament hockey above. Deformed? Yuri said lightly. It is clear whether there is armament hockey Yuri entangled on the super electromagnetic gun. The reason why the attack didn't work for Sakazuki was that Sakazuki, like Katakuri, avoided the blow just now by transforming it. Paramecia's glutinous fruit can be deformed, so Logia's lava fruit is naturally not a problem. How could such a simple attack method hurt me? Sakazuki sneered triumphantly. After the Battle of Barlow Island, Sakazuki kept thinking about how to deal with Yuri's electromagnetic gun. Especially the super electromagnetic gun released by Yuri using the Iron Sand Giant is too powerful. If there is no way to deal with the indiscriminate fire of Yuri's super electromagnetic gun, it will be difficult for him to even get close to Yuri, let alone defeat Yuri. After thinking about it, Sakazuki thought of using Devil Fruit's ability to change his body shape to avoid this trick. Yuri's electromagnetic gun is impeccable in terms of speed and power. The only shortcoming is that the attack of the super electromagnetic gun is too single, and the strong can predict the location of the attack from the beginning of the attack. Originally such an attack, Sakazuki had countless ways to deal with it. But Yuri's super electromagnetic gun is too fast and too powerful, and these methods are difficult to succeed. In the face of absolute power and speed, all skills become insignificant. Finally, he thought of using Devil Fruit to transform and avoid attacks. As a Logia Devil Fruit capable person, he only needs a thought to change the shape of his body, and the speed is no slower than the super electromagnetic gun. Although he didn't have the Katakuri's kind of foreseeing the future, the attack of the super electromagnetic gun was single, and Sakazuki could predict his attack point very well. Therefore, even if observation Haki, Sakazuki, who has not foreseen the future, can change his body shape to avoid the attack of the super electromagnetic gun. Hehe. I really dare to say, I don't know who was shot in embarrassment last time, Yuri said with a smile. Today is no better than last time, Sakazuki said with a sneer. After speaking, Sakazuki slammed a fist on the ground, and immediately the ground cracked. A series of cracks quickly stretched towards the feet of the Iron Sand Giant, and a large amount of magma ejected from the cracked cracks. Seeing this situation, everyone's expressions changed drastically and retreated. If it is sprayed with magma, it is not fun. When they stood firm and looked at the Iron Sand Giant's position, they saw a piece of ground under the Iron Sand Giant's feet, and the place where they stood was completely covered by magma. In a blink of an eye, the feet of the Iron Sand Giant turned into a volcanic crater, and the surrounding area was continuously covered by magma. It can change the natural environment in an instant. This is a power that changes the world. It's horrible. Is this the power of lava fruit? Logia Devil Fruit is indeed a natural disaster-like power. Yuri's face also changed drastically. The magma kept devouring the Iron Sand Giant, trying to drag the Iron Sand Giant into the magma. Just be swallowed by magma, Gabriel Yuri, Sakazuki sneered. Aha, Sakazuki, what a good job, but do you think the pair of wings behind my giant iron sand are for decoration? Watching the Iron Sand Giant continue to sink and be swallowed by lava, Yuri said with a smile. While Yuri was speaking, the wings behind the Iron Sand Giant stirred up, and the huge Iron Sand Giant flew up and escaped from the magma area. Such a huge Iron Sand Giant can actually fly? That pair of wings can support the weight of this Iron Sand Giant. Even if the Iron Sand Giant's whole body is made of iron sand, the weight of such a huge iron sand is absolutely indispensable. How can such a team of wings make him fly? Don't forget, these iron sands are controlled by Gabriel Yuri's abilities, not to mention wings. It's not strange to fly without wings. After all, this guy controls gravity. It's true. Sakazuki's face is a bit ugly. It's not because the Iron Sand Giant can fly it and cracked his moves. Although this trick is one of the ways he came up to deal with Yuri. Create your own favorable environment, turn the surrounding into a magma volcano, and at the same time limit Yuri's Iron Sand Giant. Even drag the Iron Sand Giant into the magma to destroy. Of course, this trick he didn't realize could be easily successful, so Sakazuki was not surprised that the Iron Sand Giant flew to avoid his attack. The fact that makes it fly has actually achieved Sakazuki's purpose. Because even if Yuri could control the iron sand to fly, it would be a huge cost to fly so much iron sand. What really makes Sakazuki angry is Yuri's high-pitched tone. Troublesome kid, I can't take such a blatant delay of time without seeing it. It will be very troublesome to restore your strength, so go to impel down to chat. At this moment, Garp said with a smile, and finished Garp's feat. With force, the body quickly leapt away. With this leap, Garp rushed over Yuri, and at the same time he hit Yuri with a punch. Seeing Garp attack, Yuri's face changed, and with a wave of his hands, the Iron Sand Giant's hands were shot out at the same time. With the roar of the Iron Sand Palm, the iron sand shook sharply, exuding endless sharpness, as if 10 sharp long knives were slashing towards Garp. Boom. Garp punched his fist and hit the Iron Sand Palm. The invisible Haki rushed out of Garp's fist and hit the Iron Sand Palm. The next moment, when I saw the huge iron sand palms exuding incomparable sharpness, they were blown by a small fist. Garp's fist slammed down and hit Yuri in the face. The terrifying force shot Yuri backwards like a rocket. Boom. Yuri shot back hundreds of meters, hitting the ground heavily, and the ground cracked due to his impact. Battered with a punch. Haha, it really deserves to be Garp Vice Admiral, who knocked Gabriel Yuri away with one punch. Yes, but even Big Mom didn't do it. Haha, Garp Vice Admiral is known as an Iron Fist. Even the One Piece Roger has to be afraid of three-pointers with that pair of fists. Although Gabriel Yuri is powerful, it is far behind the One Piece Roger. Captain Bej and others rushed out in exclamation. At this time Marine generals also rushed out and stopped them. Immediately the two sides fought together. Huh? This feels a bit wrong. Garp stepped in the air, frowning at his fist. Garp didn't know how many people he took with his fist. He knew if there was anything wrong with the fist. As soon as he hit Yuri, Garp felt that his fist felt something wrong, and it didn't feel solid. It seems to be blocked by a force. Repulsion. Garp quickly thought of Yuri's abilities. I am afraid it is this kind of power that blocked his fist. Asshole, it hurts me this punch, really terrifying hockey. Yuri slowly stood up from the ground, his face extremely solemn. Although Garp's fist was blocked by the relative force field of the two poles, Hockey, who was placed on the fist, penetrated and attacked himself. Otherwise, he would mobilize the power of the planet's magnetic field, and he would break the two-pole relative force field. The same colorless external release armament Hockey, Garp's Hockey is more than a little bit stronger than Sakazuki. Even better than Rayleigh's Hockey. It really deserves to be the monster that once defeated Rox with Roger. You know Rox is the captain of a group of monsters such as Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Big Mom, Kaido, Silver Axe, Captain John. Be able to become the captain of these monsters, gather these monsters, and stabilize the monsters. Rox is definitely the most terrifying pirate ever. Together with Roger, he can defeat monsters like, and Garp's strength is probably still higher than that of Big Mom and others. Especially in physical exercises and armament Hockey, I am afraid that they can be called the first in the world. It's okay. Marine said in surprise. Isn't this of course? This is the captain of our Gabriel pirates, how could he be defeated casually? Ashby said. The captain is so active, as a crew, we can't be so inactive, Bonus said. And we seem to be looked down upon by others, which is really irritating, Brian said coldly. Can you let the captain be in the limelight alone? Kemp said, and at the same time the body has undergone tremendous changes, and in a blink of an eye, a giant ape about 20 meters tall appeared in front of everyone. 100 Flowers dazzled. Robin even directly cast devil fruit to the surrounding Marines. I saw a hand growing out of the Marines, clasping their necks or arms. Profound meaning, Longia flashes, dust slash. Ashby and Bonus attacked at the same time. The sword light and sword aura flashed like lightning, and dozens of Marine generals were beheaded and flew up at the same time. How is this possible? What a fast sword. That demon fruit power is also very powerful. His slash is not simple, but he can easily cut armament Hockey and Iron Body. There is such a character in the Gabriel Pirates. The orangutan fruit ability is not simple, ordinary zone devil fruit can't have such a large body. Be careful. Nico Robin's flower fruit can grow hands on the target's body out of thin air. The strength of the Gabriel Pirate Group surprised the Marines. In their eyes, the other members of the Gabriel Pirate Group are really nothing. They don't believe how powerful a group of pirates who have just entered the New World can be. So most of the Marines who just stopped the Gabriel Pirates were Rear Admiral and the school officer, and several Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral did not take action. A Yuri is already an odd number, they don't believe that the entire pirate group has such a terrifying strength. But the facts tell them that the captain of the Gabriel Pirate Group is really not easy. Several Marine Vice Admiral looked at each other, and then at the same time their bodies flashed and quickly slew towards the Gabriel Pirates. The two Marine Vice Admiral Landlegs appeared in front of Kemp in a flash, and at the same time quickly kicked a huge blow. The leg of one of Marine 6 styles can perform a vacuum slash by kicking, which is powerful enough to compare with a swordsman's slash. Now the two Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral perform, it is even more powerful. I saw the two powerful vacuum slashes slashing towards Kemp. Kemp blocked his hands and slammed on his hands. Two huge scars were immediately cut open on his hands, and blood flowed out of the wounds. Good defense, it didn't even cut it directly, Marine Vice Admiral said, slightly surprised. As Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, their strength is absolutely good, and now they use the strongest attacking power in Marine 6 styles, which is easily enough to cut a mountain in two. But now it only left a wound on Kemp's hand, without even cutting off his arm, which shows how strong Kemp's defense is. But something that surprised them even more happened next, and saw that the wound that had just been cut open by the legs of the two men recovered at a speed visible to the naked eye, stopping the bleeding, healing, and scarring in a blink of an eye. It didn't take a while for the huge wound to disappear. It hurts so much your fight, Kemp roared angrily. At the same time, a slap was shot at the two Marine Vice Admiral. No, the faces of the two Marine Vice Admiral changed slightly. Before this palm was photographed, I felt an extremely strong wind pressure. The surrounding air was driven out by this wind pressure, which shows the terrifying power of this palm. Iron body. The two Marine Vice Admiral used Marine 6 style's iron body defense at the same time, so they are not relieved. Armament hockey also covers their whole bodies at the same time. Touch. This time Kemp huge slap in them, they feel the power of being a thrill of horror hit. Involuntary body was shot fly out, turned into two meteors flying directly to the Solomon Islands. Kemp is not an ordinary zone demon fruit power, he is even more rare species than Logia Eudemon's Titan Great Apes. As zone demon fruit power, very outstanding in defense and resilience, and even physical exertion fast recovery body injury. Eudemons and other exotic species has a variety of different capabilities, the Kemp Titan Great Apes seems to be no special powers. But Titan Great Apes is the king of the earth, just stand on the ground to have infinite power. After the Titans turned the Great Apes, purely on the strength of Yuri even think he might be able to do the wrist and Kaido future. Good terrorist forces. Other Marine Vice Admiral were all exposed shock of color, his eyes showed a deep fear. Now is not the time to look around. Brian looked at the front of the eyes attracted Kemp Marine Vice Admiral said. Yuehua Gien Brian will toward the Marine Vice Admiral kill. You are a swordsman. Then let you know what a real swordho, but also live your trip to New World. This name Marine Vice Admiral also a swordsman, watching Blair waist with long sword, they think he is also a swordsman. Although fencing is just Ashby stunning him, but he did not think Brian Ashby also have levels of fencing, because he did not feel the breath of a powerful swordsman in Blair body. Sorry, I'm not a pure swordsman. At this time, light, said Brian looked up, his eyes light up at the same time a gray shirt. Damn it, how my body cannot move, this is the devil fruit ability. Under the watchful eye of Brian, this Marine Vice Admiral found his body cannot move, exposing the stunned look. Do not know how you survived, New World are so weak it, Brian said. Meanwhile sword cut out immediately stood Marine Vice Admiral of the body, blood spatter out immediately. Ah. Brian's sword although a thick coating of this Marine Vice Admiral wound in the body, but did not kill each other. Marine Vice Admiral's body too strong, muscle Dongxia most hurt Blair the sword, it is not fatal. While this time the Marine Vice Admiral also shoved broke from the shackles of Brian, moved away to burst. Be careful, these guys Gabriel pirates are not simple. This name stood Marine Vice Admiral toward others warning said. The spate of things, so that these could not affect a Vice Admiral. But then 7 Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, went flying there or two, one was hit. Kemp, who face attacks, only losing ground, especially Kemp forces, Marine shunned. How could it just entered the New World pirates, how could there be so many powerful fighting force? Marine said their disbelief. It's not simply a group of guys, Sakazuki, you go over there to support it, Gabriel Yuri to me. Garp said the slightly surprised. Garp heard the words, Sakazuki hesitated, but finally turned toward Kemp and others to kill. Although Sakazuki to beat Yuri some persistence, but he also understands that after Yuri big into strength, even with one's own words, difficult to beat him. If the situation is Marine rolling Gabriel pirates okay, but now there is a Marine at a disadvantage, cannot he do not help, so can only give up to other people Yuri Gabriel pirates of the other party. But few people can kill Gabriel pirates, can be considered retaliation against Yuri. The thought of this Sakazuki sneered toward the pirates to kill everyone Gabriel. I let you leave? Come to me, universal pull, your opponent is me. Yuri raised his hand against Sakazuki said, I am afraid of gravitational wave generated immediately. Sakazuki or involuntary sucked flew to Yuri. Sakazuki felt a strong gravitational force acting on his body, and his body was attracted to Yuri involuntarily. Sakazuki did many ways to resist being sucked in, but the gravitational force was endless and invisible. In the end, Sakazuki could only give up resistance. Not only did he give up resisting the suction, but he rushed towards Yuri with the suction. I saw that his whole body turned into magma, slaying towards Yuri at an extremely fast speed, and the fiery lava turned into a giant spear and shot towards Yuri. Thanks to the universal pull function, Sakazuki's speed is extremely fast. At the same time, Yuri's orange light shot out from Yuri's hands. Yuri did not choose to use the bipolar collapse force field. Sakazuki is Logia demon fruit power. Without armament hockey, no amount of powerful attacks can hurt him. Yuri's current armament hockey cannot be wrapped around the invisible repulsive force. Without armament hockey, no matter how strong the force field of the two poles collapsed, the effect on Sakazuki's would not be so good. So Yuri used a super electromagnetic gun that can entangle armament hockey. Boom. Sakazuki couldn't avoid it under the universal pull, and instantly slammed into the super electromagnetic gun. The forces of terror are constantly struggling to strike, shaking the atmosphere. Although this super electromagnetic gun was not fired by the Iron Sand Giant, Yuri condensed a trace of the power of the planet's magnetic field on it, and its power was not weaker than the super electromagnetic gun fired by the Iron Sand Giant. Sakazuki also put out his full strength, transformed into a lava fire spear, and released the colorless armament haki. This blow was completely above Admiral's level. In the end, the coin of the railgun could not withstand the Akainu attack, and the double consumption of the self-generation speed disappeared. Without the barrier of the super electromagnetic gun, Sakazuki continued to kill Yuri, but the speed was not as fast as before. No camera movement. Yuri disappeared instantly, and Sakazuki also attacked Yuri to the original standing position. Boom. With one blow, the ground on which Yuri was standing was instantly melted, forming a lake of magma. A magma column emerged from the magma lake, and in a blink of an eye, Sakazuki was formed. Garp frowned when he saw Sakazuki being dragged, unable to support Marine. Sakazuki, give you here first, and wait until I clean up there and then come to help you. Garp said, stepping on the moonwalk and rushing towards Kemp and the others. The Marine over there is a bit dangerous. I said, your opponent is me, Universal Pull, Yuri said coldly. Immediately a gravitational force was drawn towards Garp, trying to draw him over. Because Garp was in the air, there was no way to break away from this attraction, and Yuri couldn't help being sucked in immediately. Haha, what a weird power. Old God Garp was still allowing the suction to suck him away. Millions of repulsive force fists, combined skills, two poles collapsed the force field. Facing this old monster, Yuri didn't dare to neglect at all, because facing this monster, if he was not careful, he might be knocked off. The planet's magnetic field was added, and he hit Garp with a punch. With this punch, the terrifying gravitational and repulsive force acts on Garp's body at the same time. The two ultimate forces, opposite to each other, squeeze, tear, oppose, and collide at the same time, forming a distorted force field. Air and even space are distorted by this force field, and Garp at the center of the force field seems to be distorted. The force of the twisting force field made Garp's face change, and the next moment a terrifying breath erupted from Garp's body. The invisible armament haki impacted from his body and collided with the twisting force field. Drink. Garp tore his hands. Garp's armament haki actually tore the distorted force field. Haha, what a dangerous force, Garp said with a smile. Garp smiled indifferently, but there was a solemn look in his eyes. What an old monster. Haha, Gabriel Yuri, since you choose us to be your opponent, then you are satisfied, but we don't seem to have much time, so let's make a quick decision, Garp said with a smile. After speaking, a light flashed in Garp's eyes, and an extremely terrifying breath radiated from him. This is not Conqueror's haki, but it is under terrifying pressure. This is the momentum formed by a person's strength reaching a certain level, accompanied by battle. And Garp's momentum is extremely terrifying, and this momentum alone is enough to make many New World big pirates tremble. This is the aura of a strong man standing on top of the world. At the same time, the temperature in the air continued to rise, and Sakazuki from the other side slowly walked over. Sakazuki's whole body exudes a terrifying heat, and every time he takes a step, the ground he steps on instantly turns into magma lava. There is the old monster Garp in the front, and the mad dog Sakazuki in the back. This is really troublesome. Flash, Garp appeared in front of Yuri for an instant, and hit Yuri with a punch. Similarly, Marine 6 styles, in the hands of Garp, this speed is enough to crush many speed-type Devil Fruit abilities. But even with Garp's speed, his attack still failed. In terms of speed, Yuri's cameraless movement speed is faster than Garp. Burning River Great Eruption. Yuri evaded Garp's attack and just stood still, feeling the heat of ultimate hit, and seeing Sakazuki punch the Great Eruption towards Yuri. The temperature and power of this blow has been greatly improved compared to earlier, and Sakazuki has actually become stronger in the battle. At the same time, Garp appeared on Yuri's other side in a flash, punched out, and the invisible armament haki rushed out, blocking all Yuri's retreat. Yuri took a deep breath, and the terrifying magnetism condensed on him, Shinra Tianjung. An extremely terrifying repulsive force came out from Yuri's body in all directions. When Yuri and Garp Sakazuki were fighting, Sengoku and Paluzolino also caught up with the Big Mom pirates in the sea. The two sides fought fiercely. Sengoku, it's a good calculation, but don't think that you can catch my mother like this, Big Mom shouted to Sengoku in the sky. Although Big Mom's body was paralyzed because of Yuri's thunder cannon, his combat power was greatly damaged. But her physical strength, her soul fruit ability are still there. She madly injected the powerful soul and fruit power into the fireball Prometheus and thundercloud Zeus. For a time Prometheus and Zeus became extremely terrifying. Sengoku felt extremely troubled by tearing away all the lightning and burning gold and iron like flames. With the help of Prometheus and Zeus, Big Mom eventually blocked Sengoku. And Katakuri also blocked Paluzolino. Although Paluzolino's ability and strength are very strong, Katakuri has the observation haki that predicts the future, and it is unlikely that he will lose to Paluzolino in battle. The most important thing is Paluzolino's character. It is impossible to fight hard with others. After hitting, Big Mom's body gradually recovered. Seeing that Big Mom's body recovered, Sengoku understood that it was almost impossible to take Big Mom today, so he decisively ordered the retreat. Long before they came, they determined their goal this time. Their goal this time was to take down Yuri and take down the Gabriel pirates. If you can win Big Mom as a surprise, if you can't, you must make sure to win Gabriel Yuri. So seeing that the Big Mom pirate group could not be taken down, Sengoku was not prepared to waste time, and decisively ordered the retreat towards Solomon Island. On Solomon Island, the terrifying repulsion rushed out of Yuri frantically, rushing out in all directions. Under this terrifying repulsion, Sakazuki's great eruption stopped, and even Garp's iron fist could not go any further. They were unwilling to attack and just failed, so they kept increasing their strength and pressed against Yuri. But this repulsion is too terrifying. The closer you get to Yuri, the greater the repulsion will be. Sakazuki was the first to be shaken out by this repulsive force, and then flew out by a distant bomb. 10 seconds later, finally Garp couldn't bear the force anymore, and was pulled out by the repulsive force for 20 to 30 meters before stopping. Seeing Garp being repelled, Yuri cried out secretly, "What a monster!" Shenluo Tianzhang's repulsion is an explosive attack. Although the damage and attack power are not strong, but the burst of power in an instant is enough to bounce everything away. Coupled with the power to mobilize the planet's magnetic field, this repulsion cannot be said to be weak. But even so, it took Garp more than 10 seconds to fly. If a while later, he might really let him break through this trick Shenluo Tianzhang. Fortunately, in the end, the explosive power of Shenluo Tianzhang was still strong enough. It's really troublesome ability. Shinra Tianzhang did not cause Garp to suffer any damage, and the strength to stand still immediately slammed towards Yuri again. "I don't want to fight against a monster like you." Yuri waved his hand, and the iron sand giant in the sky collapsed immediately, turning into a stream of iron sand to kill Garp. The iron sand vibrated in these iron sand streams, exuding a powerful edge, like a huge iron sand sword, and it killed Garp with the sharpness of cutting everything. Bump, bump, bump. Garp lifted his fist and punched out, and with one punch he exploded a stream of iron sand. But these iron sand streams are composed of fine iron sand. No matter how Garp exploded, Yuri was regrouped and regenerated in a blink of an eye, and he was killed again towards Garp, endless. It's really endless. Garp also felt the trouble with this ability. However, the iron sand stream hits more and more, gradually surrounding him, forming a layer of high-speed flowing iron sand cage to bind Garp. By the time Garp found out that he was tied up, it was too late. "What's this?" Garp struck out with a punch, hitting the wall of the iron sand ball hard, smashing about 10 layers of iron sand flow with one punch. But the iron sand stream that composes Garp has hundreds of layers. Moreover, after the iron sand stream was broken, he quickly recovered, and Garp's eyebrows wrinkled. "Iron fist, meteor!" Garp shouted, punching his fists like meteors. Under Garp's fist, layers of iron sand flow were blown up. The speed of recovery of the iron sand flow cage could not keep up with the speed of destruction, and in a blink of an eye the iron sand cage was broken by Garp's brute force. Planetary devastation, black hole. Just as Garp broke through the iron sand flow cage and rushed out, an extremely dark black spot appeared in front of Garp. This pitch black spot was like iron sand, and Garp didn't notice it at first, but at this moment, an unparalleled gravitation burst out suddenly. At the moment when this gravitation broke out, Garp's face changed drastically, and his body also burst out with unparalleled power to resist the attraction of this gravitational force. But this gravitational force is extremely terrifying, like a black hole in the universe. Everything around, even the space, attracts the past. Under this gravitational force, the surroundings are twisted and compressed with the black dot as the center. And everything sucked in by it was crushed instantly. Garp's body was also twisted for it, as if a part of it was about to be drawn in. No matter how much he broke free, there was no way to break free. This move, planetary devastation black hole, is a move formed by extreme compression of gravity based on planetary devastation. The power of this trick is actually not much stronger than planetary devastation. But it is an attack formed by planetary devastation ultimate compression. He sacrificed planetary devastation to release gravity for a long time. The pursuit is an instantaneous explosion. Once gravity erupts for a minute, it will disappear anyway. And the gravitational force is only about 1 meter around the black spot. His biggest advantage is that the burst of gravity is extremely powerful, like a black hole, capable of sucking everything in a radius of 1 meter, even the space, and crushing it. The disadvantage is that it is too dangerous and you will finish playing if you are not careful. Therefore, Yuri must be very careful when using this trick. He cannot attack while holding it in his hand. It is best to mix it into the iron sand as it is now and arrange it as a trap for use. Drink. Seeing, unable to escape this gravitational force, Garp simply yelled and hit the black spot with a fist. The incomparable armament hockey attacked the black spot from the body. Boom. The black dot exploded, and Garp finally broke free of the black dot's suction. To be precise, the black spots disappeared, but one of Garp's arm dropped, and cold sweat appeared on his forehead. Garp Vice Admiral, are you okay? Sakazuki came back and said in shock when he saw Garp's embarrassed look. Sakazuki is actually a little bit uncomfortable with Garp. He feels that he is not iron and blood and has no rules. But he also has to admit that Garp's strength is terrifying. It was the first time that he saw Garp so embarrassed. The clothes on his arms were broken and there were many bloodline on his arms. The most important thing was that the whole arm was drooping, as if the whole arm was scrapped. Ha ha ha, I hit a trick. Garp still has some lingering fears. The gravity just now was too terrifying. If he didn't make a decisive action to destroy the black spots with one hand, I'm afraid it would be here today. Planetary devastation, black hole, the terrifying force of crushed everything sucked in. It's also that Garp's arm is strong enough, otherwise, it's more than just an injury now. I'm afraid the entire back of the hand will be crushed into powder. Don't be stumped by arm injuries, Garp. The miraculous thing about the return of life happened, and the arm that had just been scrapped due to countless injuries recovered in an instant. When you practice Marine 6 styles to ultimate, you will gain a powerful ability. Life will be reversed. This ability can completely control the body, hair, and even internal organs, and remove physical limitations. Practicing to ultimate can instantly repair body injuries. Of course, the consumption is also huge, but the same Garp who used his life to return was the most terrifying. Once you use this trick, I am afraid you will be able to completely control your body. People are often afraid of using too much force to hurt themselves, and the body will automatically restrict the body from using too much force. Therefore, even if you fight with all your strength, in fact, it only uses 50 to 70% of the power. Even the next part will not be used due to the body's own limitations. This is also the body's self-protection mechanism. But once you use the life return, you can completely control everything in your body. In Garp's hands, this and that trick is even more terrifying. It can completely liberate the body, burst out 100%, and even burst out 200% strength regardless of physical damage. Moreover, the life return state can infuse consciousness into the body to burst out unparalleled power, and the whole body is a combat weapon. Haha, isn't this alright? Next, Garp looked towards Yuri, and the next moment Garp disappeared in place. The moment Garp disappeared, Yuri's expression also changed, and the next moment he disappeared in place. Boom. Garp flashed out the moment Yuri disappeared, hitting Yuri's original position with a punch. Under this fist, the ground was dented by a terrifying force, and the ground cracked apart inch by inch under the fist. It's a terrifying monster. Yuri appeared tens of meters away, looking at where he was standing, with a shocked look. But he was shocked. Before he could finish speaking, Garp appeared in front of him again and hit him with a fist. Yuri shoots backwards again like a rocket. It's this kind of power again. It's really troublesome. It seems that the next punch needs more power, Garp said. It turns out that Garp's punch is indeed a real hit, breaking Yuri's body to protect his positive and negative relative force field in one fell swoop. But after breaking the force field, Garp's attack was almost consumed. Therefore, even if the punch is solid, there is not much power. After being blocked by Yuri's armament hockey, he basically didn't cause much damage to Yuri. Thinking of this, the armament hockey of Garp's whole body is condensed towards his fists. The next moment the body flashed and caught up with Yuri and shot out. He was about to punch Yuri with an iron fist. Don't think about it. Yuri gave a cold voice, and then he disappeared silently. The gap movement allowed Yuri to avoid this trick. Boom. Garp's fist hit the ground, and the terrifying armament hockey rushed out, and a large area of the ground collapsed and sunken. Essential magnetic field, Yuri said with a cold voice, who appeared dozens of meters away. Garp looked up to the sky, and saw a large amount of iron sand gathering above him, forming an iron sand mountain. Suddenly the terrifying gravity pressed towards Garp. The gravity was so strong that Garp fell on one knee. What is this? The magnetic field of the iron sand mountain above and the magnetic field of the earth are connected as a whole, and a terrifying gravity area is formed by the magnetic field of the earth. This is the power of the earth. I can't escape this area, Garp said. Although Garp has no knowledge about magnetic field elements, his observation haki clearly perceives what is going on. The great Buddha, shock. At this moment, a terrifying shockwave attacked the iron sand mountain. Under this terrifying impact, iron sand mountain was blown away and the magnetic field disappeared. Everyone looked up and saw a big golden Buddha appeared in the sky. Sengoku. Garp said with a smile. Haha, Garp, you look embarrassed. Sengoku said. It's really troublesome. Garp. Ouchie, can't even Garp Vice Admiral get Gabriel Yuri. It's really scary. Pelusalino said without knowing when he appeared. Sengoku? Pelusalino? Why are they here? Didn't they go after Big Mom? Bej and others also saw the great Buddha Sengoku and Pelusalino appearing in the sky, and they showed panic expressions one by one. This is really troublesome. Originally, Garp and Sakazuki were no trouble. Now coupled with Marine Admiral Sengoku and Pelusalino, who possesses admiral strength, the Gabriel pirates are truly in desperation. What can we do about it? Although Sakazuki and Pelusalino have not yet been promoted to Marine Admiral, they have already initially possessed the Marine Admiral level. For a while, 4 admirals surrounded Yuri. Not to mention that there are old monsters like Garp Sengoku among the 4 admiral. Needless to say, Garp is definitely comparable to the fighting power of the 4 emperors. Armament haki and physical skills have reached the peak. And Sengoku's strength will not be much weaker. Sengoku is a marine in the same period as Garp, and has experienced the Rocks era, Roger era, and now the Ocean era. The former Sengoku is almost the same as Garp. Over the years, as admiral, I have been at the forefront of fighting against pirates. His strength is even recognized by Whitebeard. In the Roger era, Garp was responsible for hunting down Roger, while Sengoku was responsible for dealing with Whitebeard. This shows how strong Sengoku is. Sengoku Garp teamed up but once completely defeated the Golden Lion. Even if it is the current 3 emperors, facing such a lineup, there is only one way to retreat. Gabriel Yuri, just grab it with your hands, you don't have any chance. Sengoku said in a majestic voice with golden light all over the incarnation of the Buddha. Hehe, you really looked at me. If you didn't catch Big Mom, you came to catch me. Is your target me this time? Yuri said with a smile. Although Marine also wants to wipe out the Big Mom pirates, it is unrealistic, and the Gabriel pirates have the qualifications to reach the top of New World. Marine does not allow New World to appear another emperor, so there is no one in Gabriel pirates. It is our goal to truly grow up and destroy you this time, Sengoku said. In other words, do you think I'm so bullied? I was really underestimated, Yuri said lightly. We didn't underestimate you at all. It's just that a monster like Big Mom wants to kill and capture him. Marine is not yet ready for this, Sengoku said. It's true, is that monster-like body really human? It was hit by my lightning cannon, and I was able to stand up as if nothing was wrong, but do you think it is easier to deal with me than deal with Big Mom, Yuri? At least you don't have the physique of a monster like Big Mom, even if your combat power is really enough to compare to the Emperor of the Sea, but you will be tired, plus the battle just now, how much combat power can you use? In this case catch you can minimize the loss of Marine. Sengoku said lightly, as if he had taken Yuri. Upon hearing Sengoku's words, not only Yuri raised his eyebrows, but Bonus and others were also angry. Ha ha ha, it's really underestimated, it's no good, although what you said is true, but it makes me faceless, I have to do something today. Yuri said with a smile. Gabriel Yuri, you can't do anything, just grab it with your hands, Sengoku said coldly. Be careful Sengoku, this kid is not easy, Garp said solemnly. I understand that someone who can make you so embarrassed is naturally not easy, and I will go all out, Sengoku said. Talking to Yuri. Sengoku is the fruit ability of the great Buddha of the Eudemons, incarnate as the great Buddha, just like the gods and Buddhas in mythology, raising hands and palms has infinite power. With this palm, a terrifying shockwave immediately enveloped Yuri. Ah! No camera moved, Yuri avoided Sengoku's attack and moved quickly to Sengoku's side. But at this time, Sengoku seemed to have known Yuri's trajectory for a long time, and he raised his hand to hit it out, as if Yuri sent the door to Sengoku to hit it. Sengoku's observation haki is still in Yuri, even on top of Garp, completely controlling Yuri's movements. But Sengoku's attack still failed, and Yuri silently disappeared in front of Sengoku. This time even Sengoku did not perceive how Yuri disappeared. When he felt Yuri again, Sengoku found that Yuri appeared silently behind him, and he had already pressed a palm on his back. Yuri's speed made Sengoku's eyes narrow. This is definitely not just as simple as the speed of movement, because no matter how fast the speed is, it is difficult to escape his perception of seeing and hearing. Take Pelusalino's sparkling fruit, for example. It's fast enough, but there is still no way to escape Sengoku's perception. However, Yuri seems to disappear out of thin air. It is probably some kind of teleportation ability, most likely to involve space. I didn't expect Gabriel Yuri to control this near space movement ability. But even if Yuri was able to move in space and used this space movement to sneak attack behind him, Sengoku still didn't panic. Although Sengoku's body is not as good as a monster like Kaido Big Mom, and his armor is not as good as Garp, his defensive power is not weaker than anyone. Once he incarnates as a big Buddha, his whole body exudes golden light. These golden lights are not decorations, they are as indestructible as the golden body of a big Buddha, able to withstand all attacks. There are very few people who can break his defense in the entire New World, and he doesn't think Yuri can break his defense. So Sengoku didn't care about Yuri's attack at all. He raised his palm and hit Yuri behind him, preparing to exchange injuries with Yuri. But Sengoku still miscalculated. Exiled. Yuri pressed a palm on Sengoku's back, and the terrifying magnetic field condensed on his hand. The next moment Sengoku's figure flashed like illusion, and instantly disappeared in front of everyone. Sengoku. How is it possible? What just happened? Sengoku Admiral. What kind of ability is this that makes Sengoku Admiral disappear out of thin air? Magic. Plus, how can Yuri have such strength? I can't perceive the breath of Sengoku Admiral anymore, is it? Seeing Sengoku disappear out of thin air, Garp and others were also surprised. None of them saw how Sengoku disappeared. Yuri won't give them time to think about what he did to keep Sengoku away. I saw Yuri's figure flickering again, and instantly appeared in front of Garp, calling towards Garp. Garp blocked with both hands, and the terrifying armament haki between his hands rushed out. The terrible armament haki was enough to shatter any attack. Yuri's palm was blocked, and he couldn't even touch Garp's body. Exiled. But the terrifying magnetic field gathered, and Garp disappeared in the next moment. Seeing Sengoku and Garp disappear one after another, Sakazuki and Pelusalino's expressions changed drastically. At this moment, Yuri appeared like a ghost, and when they were shocked, they patted them with their palms. The same Sakazuki and Pelusalino also disappeared. After Sakazuki and Pelusalino disappeared, Yuri's body shook and he was about to fall down. At this moment, Robin appeared beside Yuri to support him. "It's okay, Captain?" Robin asked anxiously. "Next, leave it to you, I have to sleep." Yuri smiled and said. After that, Yuri has lost consciousness. I don't know how long it has passed. Yuri regained consciousness and slowly opened his eyes, and saw that he was on a big bed with Robin lying next to the bed. Yuri sat up slowly, and reached out to touch a piece of Robin's head. Robin was awakened by Yuri's actions. Robin looked up and saw that Yuri was awake. The next moment Robin burst into tears and threw himself in Yuri's arms, crying. It was the first time that Yuri saw Robin revealing his true feelings, and couldn't help but get confused, and asked what was going on, and if she was bullying her. No matter what happens, Robin is extremely calm. There has never been a situation like this before. Then after hearing Robin's narration, Yuri realized that 10 days had passed since the battle with Garp and others. He had been in a coma for almost half a month. The ship's doctor said that Yuri was too mentally exhausted, and whether he could wake up was up to him. This time, Robin and others were scared. 10 days have passed, here is it. Yuri was also very surprised. He didn't expect that he was in a coma for 10 days. It seems that the expulsion can't be used indiscriminately in the future. The so-called expulsion is actually an enhanced version of interstitial movement, the violent version. This trick condenses a terrifying magnetic field, drives an extremely powerful repulsion, and violently repels the target out of the space where it is. Requires extremely strong repulsion and repulsion of the planet's magnetic field, so the consumption is extremely large. The physical consumption is okay. This trick also consumes mental power, because Yuri will consume spirit if he wants to use repulsion. Physical exhaustion is good to recover, but mental exhaustion is not easy to recover. The 4 expulsions have exhausted Yuri's spirit. If ordinary people, I am afraid they will never wake up again. Yuri merged 2 souls because of the traversal, and while the spirit became stronger, the mental resilience also became extremely strong. But even so, he was in a coma for half a month before waking up. This is Bega's castle. After the battle with Big Mom and Marine, many people on the Solomon Islands wanted to join us. The strength of these people is pretty good. You were in a coma, so we decided to let them temporarily trainees. Crew, after all, New World is no better than the first half of the Great Navigation Road. If the pirate group wants to develop, it will need a lot of manpower, and it will be complicated with more people, so it is safer to arrange you in the castle inside Beige. Robin said. That's it, let's go and see them. Yuri said he was about to get up. Are you okay? Robin asked worriedly. It's okay, I just passed out because of too much mental exhaustion, and I didn't suffer any injuries. Now that I am awake, it means I have recovered. Yuri said with a smile. While speaking, Yuri got out of bed. Captain, are you all right? The captain finally woke up. I thought you would never wake up. Captain, if you don't wake up, this ship will be changed to Capone pirates. It's the Daz pirates who want to change it. Seeing Yuri waking up, everyone said with joy. It's really a bunch of bastards, but it's too early for you to try to usurp the throne. Lousy is not so easy to die. Yuri said with a smile. Tell me what's going on now. Yuri asked. Captain, when we fought Big Mom Marine, there were many treasure hunters on Solomon Island. They saw our battle and were ready to join us. We selected some good treasure hunters, because you are not sober. So for the time being, we only accept them as trainee crew members, Beige said with a smile. Congratulations, Captain, you are now a captain with more than 500 trainee crew members, Zala said. More than 500, are you sure these people can be used? Our Gabriel pirates are going to take the elite route? Yuri asked. Don't worry, Captain, these people are pretty good. They are all treasure hunters who can be alone. It is more than enough to be an ordinary crew member. Among them, there are a few guys with very good strength. Kemp said with a smile. Ah, you said that, I am a little curious. Should I call them now? They admire you very much, Beige asked. You guys, wait, now there's one more thing to deal with first. Yuri. Mom. Perispero ran to Big Mom with a look of panic. Something is so flustered, is it that Marine is calling again? By the way, Marine has really been making big moves recently. Big Mom looked at Perispero and asked. It's not Mother, yes, it's Gabriel Yuri. Perispero took out a phone worm and said. Kiss, there is a Big Mom voice that is both strange and familiar on the Big Mom call. Gabriel Yuri. Big Mom showed a look of surprise. Mama, I didn't expect you to survive. Big Mom. At that time in the sea, Sengoku hunted down the Big Mom pirate group. Seeing that couldn't do anything about it, he quickly ordered a retreat. Big Mom watched Sengoku head towards the Solomon Islands. Big Mom quickly guessed that Marine's target was the Gabriel Yuri envoy. At that time, Big Mom was sure that Yuri must be over this time. Even if he doesn't die, he will be caught impelled down. Sengoku Garp, plus Porusalino and Sakazuki, 4 Admiral-level combat powers besieged, Gabriel Yuri has no chance of winning. But I didn't expect Yuri to support so many Admirals' hands. This even Big Mom is a very unexpected accident. There are many people who want me to die, but Shinigami doesn't dare to accept me at all, Yuri said. Big Mom, you promised me to do something. In the past few days, a series of important things have happened to Marine. 10 days ago, in the battle on Solomon Island, Sengoku and others were expelled by Yuri with repulsive force. Although Yuri's repulsive force repelled them from the original space, it was not enough to repel them out of the world of One Piece. So they soon appeared all over the world of One Piece. After they appeared, they were also confused. They had just been fighting Yuri in New World, and suddenly appeared in East Blue, North Blue, or the first half of the Great Navigation Road, and even Sakazuki was sent to a certain Sky Island. After experiencing this incident, Sengoku knew that Yuri's ability was very dangerous. With this ability, it is not less difficult to capture Yuri than the other 3 emperors. Even if you are not careful, it will cause great harm to Marine. At this point, the emergence of a 4th emperor in New World will be destined to be unstoppable, and now Yuri becomes the 4 emperors with only a matter of time. So after Sengoku returned to naval headquarters, he immediately found Marine Marshal Kong and reported the matter. Soon afterwards, the world government held a Marine meeting and passed a plan. 7 Warlords of the Sea Project. In fact, this 7 Warlords of the Sea plan has already existed, and the person who proposed this plan is Sengoku. It was just because many kingdoms opposed it, and there were many different voices within Marine, so it has not been implemented. But after this time, the world government forcibly announced the launch of this plan and told the world through newspapers. For a while, the entire sea boiled. The world government also felt the pressure from New World. The 3 great pirates of New World can no longer simply call them the pirates. Pirate Kingdom? Pirate Forces? Pirate Legion? Perhaps this name is more suitable for them. If New World really appears the 4th Emperor of the Sea, it will inevitably cause great pressure on the world government. That's why the world government decided to implement this Shichibukai plan so resolutely, to use pirates to deal with pirates and form a new balance on the sea. In addition to the Shichibukai plan, the world government appointed Marine Marshal Kong and was promoted to the commander-in-chief of the world government. After Kong was promoted, Marine was not able to have no yuan, so he was promoted to Marine Admiral Sengoku as Marine Marshal, and he was fully responsible for the 7 Warlords of the Sea project. With the promotion of Kong and Sengoku, especially with the promotion of Sengoku, Marine Admiral, the highest combat power of Marine's frontline, is completely vacant. In order to make up for the lack of Marine Admiral, the Marine's highest combat power, the world government decided to promote Sakazuki, Paluzolino, and Kuzan to Admiral, and announced that a Grand 3 Admiral inauguration ceremony will be held a month later to deter the sea. On this day, Sengoku, who had just become Marine Marshal, was convening a meeting with his subordinates. Suddenly, a Marine hurriedly broke into the meeting room. Report: it was monitored that Big Mom was talking on the phone with the other person, and the other party was Dilly Yuri. Hearing this Marine's report, everyone in Marine Marshal Sengoku's office changed their expressions. There are various kinds of phone bugs in One Piece world, and they can even be given special abilities through some special training. For example, there is a monitoring phone worm, which can monitor the call between the phone and the worm. Marine will use monitoring phone worms to monitor some powerful pirates 24 hours a day. Of course, if you don't want to be monitored, you can interfere with them in some ways. However, this time Bigimom's call did not take any measures. Originally Marine thought it was just an ordinary call, but he didn't expect the name Gabriel Yuri to be heard in the phone worm. The name Gabriel Yuri is a name that cannot be ignored for the current naval headquarters. The appearance of 7 Warlords of the Sea, Kong was promoted to Marshal, Sengoku was promoted to Marine Marshal, and the 3 Admiral were all advanced because of the appearance of this name. It is precisely because the world government feels the emergence of Gabriel Yuri that New World is about to enter the 4 Emperors era, and the layout is carried out in advance. So the monitor, as soon as he heard the name Gabriel Yuri, he hurried to report. Big Mom actually talked to Gabriel Yuri? What's the content? Sengoku asked. It was Gabriel Yuri who contacted Big Mom on the initiative. Gabriel Yuri said, Big Mom, you promised me to do it, the monitor said. How is it possible? Gabriel Yuri once declared war on Big Mom. There was a big fight between the two not long ago. Is there any cooperation between the two? Sengoku said. This is not clear, the phone bug hasn't mentioned it, but Big Mom promised to send 100,000 troops to help Gabriel Yuri. 100,000 troops? Everyone present changed their colors. Big Mom will send 100,000 troops to help Gabriel Yuri? How is it possible? It also made everyone nervous again. To know the strength of the Gabriel pirate group is not weak. From the first battle on Solomon Island, it can be seen that not only the captain Gabriel Yuri has the strength comparable to the 3 emperors, but also the crew and cadres of his crew have extraordinary strengths, and some even have the strength comparable to Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral. The Gabriel pirates and the other 3 emperors in the new century are just troops and forces. If Big Mom really sends 100,000 troops to Yuri, then the strength and power will no longer be a problem. In other words, the 4th Emperor of the Sea in New World may be born soon. The most important thing is why Big Mom sent 100,000 troops to Gabriel Yuri. What are they plotting? Continue monitoring. Sengoku ordered. Yes. The monitor went out after saluting. It seems that the era of the 4 emperors may be faster than we expected, so our plan must also be accelerated. It has now been determined that Shichibukai personnel include Crocodile, Gecko Moria, Storm Coon Bear, and New World Great Swordsman Dracule Mihawk. The remaining personnel are still pending. Immediately, send someone to contact them to test whether they have the idea of becoming Shichibukai. Yes. This is the 100,000 troops Big Mom promised. No wonder he promised so easily. Yuri looked at a few things that looked like ghosts, and said with some dissatisfaction to Kaita Curry on the side. Yuri called the Big Mom pirate group and asked Big Mom to honor what he had promised on Solomon Island. Originally, Yuri thought that it would take some talking, even a battle, but he didn't expect Big Mom to agree very quickly, and promised to send 100,000 troops to help Yuri. A few days later, a Big Mom pirate ship arrived at Solomon Island. Walking down from the boat was Big Mom's son Kaita Curry, and something that looked like a ghost. As a result of their actions, the bodies of the Hormuz soldiers who were buried by Yuri's super god Luo Tianzhong were excavated earlier. Then those ghost-like guys faced the soul of the owner of the Hormuz soldier, and in a blink of an eye, the Hormuz soldier who had died was alive again. The promised thing has been fulfilled. There are about 100,000 Hormuz soldiers here, but these are only lent to you. After your city is built, I will send a boat to pick them up. Kaita Curry said faintly. Big Mom is very careful, but it doesn't matter, as long as you help me build the city, Yuri said lightly. In the ruins of the original Solomon Kingdom, hundreds of people in different clothes stand, sit, or walk around. They seem to be waiting for something. Here, someone suddenly said. Immediately everyone's attention was attracted by one direction. As everyone looked around, only a few people were slowly walking towards this side. Looking at the leader, everyone's eyes showed eagerness. This leader is very young, younger than most of them here. But everyone present understands the horror of this young man and possesses the ability to destroy the world. Fight against Big Mom, one of the 3 emperors of New World. Single station Marine Hero Garp and Marine Alternate Admiral Sokka Sky. In the face of Marine's 4 Admiral class combat strength, they are still strong, they are expelled. This person is definitely a monster. This new world worships monsters, and everyone looks at him eagerly. Gabriel Yuri. Captain Yuri, finally come. Everyone's eyes lit up and said, "Hee, sorry for keeping you waiting for a long time. I have dealt with some things earlier, so I only came to see you now. The person here is Yuri. The captain is polite. The captain finally saw you. The captain let us board your captain and lead us to the top of New World." Everyone looked at Yuri and said excitedly, these people were originally treasure hunters from New World. Because of Solomon's treasure, they came to Solomon Island with the dream of making a fortune overnight. It's a pity that I have been here for 4 or 5 years long, and 2 or 3 years short, but the so-called Solomon treasure has not even been seen yet. But after spending so much energy, they are unwilling to give up so easily, so they have been dragging here all the time. After seeing Yuri fighting Big Mom and Marine, their minds changed, and something called ambition grew in their hearts. The monster in front of you is definitely comparable to the 3 emperors of New World, and will be eligible to become the new Emperor of the Sea in the future. If you join them, then they will be a member of the Emperor of the Sea, relying on the banner of the Gabriel Pirate Group Kun facing the sea. If you can get a cadre or something, it will be even more prestigious. For these people in New World, it's not bad to be a treasure hunter, a pirate hunter, or even a pirate. It's just different from the pirates who come in from the outside world. They know one thing very well. New World is a world of monsters. No matter what you want to do, you need to have the strength to fight monsters. Otherwise, it's only for being swallowed by monsters. It is precisely this way, in this era of great pirates, they would rather be a treasure hunter who is not very prosperous than being a pirate and be swallowed by those monsters. Of course, they can also join the New World 3 great pirates. But now the forces of the 3 great pirates in New World have already taken shape, and there are countless strong people in it, and it is difficult for them to get ahead even if they join. But Yuri is different. Yuri has just entered the New World and has the resources to become the Emperor of the Sea, but he has no staff. It is precisely because of Yuri's potential and the lack of manpower in the Gabriel Pirates that they did not hesitate to join the Gabriel Pirates. Climbing to the top of New World? Isn't that a matter of course for me? Yuri said lightly. Hearing Yuri's words, everyone present brightened up, and Kemp and others even smiled triumphantly. But why should I take you to the top of New World, and what can you bring to me? Or do you think you can climb to the top with you on a downwind boat? Asked. Hearing Yuri's words, everyone present changed their expressions. Some people's faces became serious, and many people's faces immediately became ugly. Hey, did I poke something? If any of you are dissatisfied, you can leave now. Although my crew has promised to let you trainees, as the captain, I have not yet agreed, so you are free now. Leave. Yuri said with a smile. Hearing Yuri's words, everyone present was silent for a while. At this moment, a tough guy dressed in combat costumes said, Captain Yuri, that's right. All of us here want to borrow your downwind boat to reach the top, because we know that only monsters can fight with each other in New World. Monster fights, only with your strength we don't need to fear those monsters. We have all seen you fighting with the monster Big Mom. We have seen you fighting with Marine Hero Garp and others. We know that you have the strength to climb to the top. However, in New World, you want to climb to the top. In addition to your strength, the forces are powerful. It is also indispensable. No one under your hand cannot become an emperor. I guarantee that everyone here has a certain ability. Please accept us. We must be helpful to you. That's right, the captain, we people are not useless. Otherwise we would not come out as treasure hunters, although not comparable to the crew behind you, but we also have some skills. A man holding a large axe said. Combat, organization, intelligence, various channels, I can help you handle it, so that you can stand firm in New World as soon as possible. A man who looks very ordinary but very unusual said. Nothing else, a swordsmanship can still be used, a swordsman said. Don't you know what you can do? You are right to say that no one under your team can become an emperor, but our Gabriel Pirates want elites, and most people are not eligible to enter the Gabriel Pirates, although because I need a manpower relationship, and I am going to let go of some restrictions. Leave as early as possible. We don't want to waste here. There is nothing else on the sea. There are a lot of people, especially now it's the era of the big pirates. I don't necessarily have to choose you. For those who want to join the Gabriel Pirates, Go to Robin to register in a while. I want to know your details and decide whether you want to join the pirates, whether you will be a full member, a reserve crew, or a non-staff member. Captain, these are the information of the newcomers, and a few of them are really good. Robin and others put a bunch of materials in front of Yuri and said. Who are there? Budo Master Eden. The New World Spike's Budo was introduced, and he once defeated New World's top pirate hunters. That hunter once killed several pirates with a bounty of more than 100 million yuan. Jaffrey the Axe. Good at using a long axe, and once defeated the pirate who offered a bounty of 96 million Baileys. Shen Yin Bat. Hidden fruit ability, intelligence expert, assassin master. Winger swordsman Goto Yuto, swordsman grade swordsman. In addition to these, there are some weird specialties, such as finding objects, identifying treasures, painting, unlocking, stealing, etc. Robin made a report and said. There are really some talents among these treasure hunters. Captain, how do you plan to arrange these people? The strength of some of them can actually be taken indirectly and become official crew members. After all, we have too few people now. Brian. It's the captain, or take them all in. Let's build a few squads, so we can make a captain, Kemp said. It is true that there are too many people to establish a team. Well, taking this opportunity, I am going to plan the framework of our pirate group, Yuri said. Planning. Aren't we the squad system? Bej and others asked puzzledly. I am going to divide the pirate regiment into two parts, the inner line and the outer line, Yuri said. Inside and outside, Bej and others said in surprise. There is nothing wrong with the inner line and the outer line. The inner line is the core member of the pirate group and can participate in the strategic meeting of the pirate group, while the outer line is the external personnel, providing the inner line with troops, assistance, intelligence, funds, etc. And the old crew members who followed me into New World, including Michel Tazala, will be compiled as members of the inner formation, and the people included today, as well as those of Bej, your subordinates, will be compiled to the outer formation. Only for the pirates enough merits can be promoted to the inner formation, Yuri said. This method, otherwise, because a person who just joined and did nothing, he can sit on an equal footing with the old crew member, even if he is strong. Are we weak? Ashby said. Hearing what Yuri said, everyone agreed. Such a framework can greatly enhance their status, and there is no reason to oppose it. In the past, we had a small number of personnel, so the position of the crew did not matter, but in the future our pirate group will have more and more personnel, so today I want to appoint your positions and responsible matters, Yuri said. Hearing what Yuri said, everyone became serious. I appoint Robin as the deputy captain of the pirate regiment, and the rank of the inner formation is the commander-in-chief level, who is responsible for assisting me in handling the affairs of the pirate regiment, Yuri said. Me? Deputy captain? Robin said in surprise. That's right. As the pirate group gets stronger and bigger in the future, there will be more and more government affairs, so I need someone to help me handle these government affairs. You have this ability, Yuri said. I understand. Robin nodded and said. Everyone has no opinion. In the eyes of everyone, Robin is Yuri's woman, and she is a scholar with strong knowledge. It is really appropriate for her to be the deputy captain to help Yuri handle government affairs. In addition to government affairs, Robin, you also need to be in charge of the intelligence department. Zala and Michelta will follow Robin in the future. You will be responsible for intelligence work. You can recruit some intelligence personnel from the outer team. Is it good at intelligence gathering? Yes, Captain. Zala and Masita said. Bej, before you enter the pirate regiment, I have already determined your position in the pirate regiment. You represent the strength of the pirate regiment. Today I appoint you as the commander-in-chief of the war department, the commander-in-chief level of the inner formation, Yuri said. The Ministry of War. How do you organize this? And what does this inner-level commander-in-chief knight represent? Bej asked. Even I wanted to ask, what is the level of this inner formation? Kemp asked too. In the future, with the growth of the pirate group, the personnel of the inner formation will inevitably increase, so the inner formation personnel must also be divided into 4 levels. I divided the inner formation personnel into 4 levels: Commander, Admiral, Jazz, and Knight. Those who enter the inner circle from the outer circle will be gradually promoted from the Knights. This rank represents the status and glory of the members of the inner circle, Yuri said. So that's it. Everyone nodded. The Ministry of War is the place that governs the main force of our pirate group. You are responsible for training all the members of the outer team in today's move, and they are finally organized into 3 squads. These 3 squads, except for the appointment and dismissal of the captain, are all everything is under your control. The main task is to defend the nest and expand abroad, Yuri said. Yes, promise to complete the task, Bej said. Although Bej is not at the top of the pirate group, he is very good at training soldiers and leading soldiers to fight. The soldiers under him are not less disciplined than Marine, and this position is also the most suitable for him. Bonus. I appoint you as the Commander-in-Chief of the Azores. The Commander-in-Chief level of the Inner Formation, Ashby, Bryan, and Kemp are incorporated into the Azores, the Admiral level of the Inner Formation. If Bej represents military power, then you represent the force of the Gabriel Pirates. You must make the Azores the sharpest swords in the Gabriel Pirates. If the Azores have people who can see them, they have the priority to choose. Although the selected personnel cannot directly enter the Inner Formation, they can be given preferential treatment and priority promotion. Of course, there are restrictions on personnel. The Admiral level Shura can recruit 7 followers, the Jazz level can recruit 4 followers, and the Knight can recruit 2 followers. Hearing Yuri's words, Bonus laughed and said, "Captain, don't worry, Shura will be your sharpest knife in the future." Next, Yuri announced the establishment of the Strategy Department in the Government Order Department. Among them, the Strategy Department is directly led by him, and the members are 3 commanders. They can hold strategic meetings related to the development of the pirate group. The commands of the Strategy Department are above all and can break the rules of the pirate group. Once the Strategy Department orders it, anyone in the pirate regiment, including the Commander-in-Chief, must obey, and it is unconditional obedience. No discounts can be made, even if it is an unreasonable order. All orders are given priority to the Strategy Department. The Political Order Department is jointly responsible by Yuri and Robin, responsible for the daily government affairs of the pirate group, issuing political orders, coordinating various ministries, and coordinating various ministries. In the end, Yuri discussed with everyone and subdivided the outer team into 100 levels. In this way, the personnel in the outer front can see their level increase more clearly. After the level 100 of the outer front, enter the inner front through the examination of the Ministry of Government and have the right to participate in the General Assembly of the Ministry of Government. What 4 emperors? Have you ever asked me if you want to become 4 emperors? Without Laozi's recognition, who can become 4 emperors? A huge roar came out from the ghost island of Wano-Kuni, and the sky flickered with thunder and lightning. Yuri's battle with Big Mom and Marine was not reported in the newspapers. Since Solomon Island was destroyed from the Solomon Kingdom, no one paid any more attention, so there can be no reporters on such an island. The attack on Big Mom was also very sudden. Solomon was relatively isolated from the outside world, so the reporter didn't know what happened to Solomon. But this matter gradually spread from Naval Headquarters. Naval Headquarters did not deliberately spread this matter. After all, their faces are not glorious on this matter. Naval Headquarters has gathered so many troops, including Sengoku Garp Sakazuki Perusalino 4 Admiral-class combat power, but there is no way to capture Yuri, but also loses soldiers and generals. It is really a big face to Marine too. However, the Gabriel Pirates and Yuri mentioned most recently by Marine, because of the series of actions by Marine during this period, the main reason is the appearance of the Gabriel Pirates. So gradually what happened on Solomon Island gradually spread. At the same time, Gabriel Yuri is not weaker than the New World 3 emperors. It is very likely that news of becoming the 4th Sea Emperor of New World will follow soon. Some people even say that Yuri is now the 4th Emperor of the Sea in New World. These rumors were also circulated and discussed in Naval Headquarters and some high-level Marines. But I don't know how to pass it to New World, and it was known by some powerful forces in New World. Finally it reached Kaido's ears. Boss Kaido, this Gabriel Yuri can make Big Mom and Naval Headquarters return without success. I am afraid that the strength is not simple. If he is left alone, he may really become the 4th Emperor of the New World. Beast's Pirates' signature Jin said. New World has no extra territory, and do you think Laozi will let a new Emperor of the Sea appear? Kaido said coldly. Now there are 3 emperors in the sea. The 3 of them swept New World, and each other has their own rule in robbery seas. They mutually recognized that this sea area is their territory, and they can rob in this sea area. Other people coming in is equivalent to crossing the boundary. It must be a big battle. If a new Emperor of the Sea appears, his territory will inevitably be snatched from the waters of their 3 emperors, and his domineering character will naturally not allow such things to appear. Boss Kaido is right. I don't think the Gabriel Pirates is great. I think it is just to destroy him. I heard that the reason why Big Mom returned without success was because Marine intervened, and Marine was because of Gabriel. Yuri has the ability to drive enemies far away, but this seems to be a hidden danger. After expelling Garp Sengoku, Gabriel Yuri was also in a coma for more than 10 days. It is said that he almost couldn't wake up. The same is true, said Quinn of Beast's Pirates. Regardless of the reason, he can survive in the hands of monsters like Big Mom and Garp Sengoku. It is not a simple character. If you face them, can you easily get out? And there is news that he once fought Whitebeard, and finally it's also easy to get away, said blazingly. After hearing the words, Thinking of the horror of Big Mom and Sengoku Garp, Quinn also fought a cold war. It's interesting to be able to escape from the old man Whitebeard. Kaido also became interested at this time. The Gabriel Pirates is there, Laozi will meet him, Kaido said. According to the news just received, the Gabriel Pirates is now on Solomon Island. It is said that they are preparing to build their nest there. And Big Mom seems to be supporting him, sending a large number of Hormuz soldiers to help him on Solomon Island. Build a city on top. What the old lady Linlin is going to do? Forget it, Laozi will go and see what he is capable of. Kaido said coldly, and Kaido didn't wait for Kai and they to reply, and directly turned into a dragon flying into the sky. During this time, Solomon Island is in full swing. There are a large number of people working on the site of the original Solomon Kingdom. Most of these people are Homit soldiers from Big Mom, but a closer look reveals that there are many real people inside. These people are all villagers near Solomon Island. After the Kingdom of Solomon was destroyed by the Silver Axe Pirates, the people of the Kingdom of Solomon were killed and fleeing. But some people survived and there was no way to escape from Solomon Island, so they had to find a place to build a village on Solomon Island to live in, but the life has not been good. The Gabriel Pirates decided to build Solomon Island into their own lair, and after rebuilding a big city on the site of the original Solomon Kingdom, they conscripted them to work here. Of course, Yuri didn't force them to take them to work. Instead, they paid Bailey and promised that after Gabriel City was established, a house would be distributed to them. And promised that the Gabriel Pirates will shelter everything in Gabriel City, including their lives and property. Some of these villagers have also seen the terrifying strength of the Gabriel Pirates Regiment, so naturally they dare not resist the Gabriel Pirates Regiment. And the Gabriel Pirates paid Pele back and promised to give them a house. They also came to Gabriel to work with a little expectation. They can see that the Gabriel Pirate Group is very different from other pirate groups, and hope that the appearance of the Gabriel Pirate Group will bring them a better life. While they were working on this day, people found that the sky was suddenly covered with dark clouds, and thunder and lightning flashed in the dark clouds. When everyone was surprised if the weather was about to change, they suddenly saw a huge peak-flavored head protruding from the clouds. What's this? Is this a dragon? How can you be a dragon? Looking at the heads protruding from the clouds, everyone said in surprise. This ferocious head is exactly the same as the legendary dragon. At this moment, the huge dragon head in the Tianlong pointed at them with a big mouth, and immediately a large amount of energy flames gathered in its mouth. Isn't it? Could it be seeing this situation? The people in Gabriel City thought of something, showing a dead gray color. At this moment, a hot and terrifying breath sprayed towards the Gabriel Pirates. The appearance of this dragon is so great that Bej and others have naturally seen it. What's this? Shenlong. It should be demon fruit power. Such a huge dragon, and it is a dragon that only appeared in fantasy myths and legends. It is definitely not an ordinary zone demon fruit power. The ancient species, the most likely to be the same as Kemp, is the zone demon fruit power. Seeing such a huge dragon appeared, everyone in the Gabriel Pirate Group was surprised. However, they did not panic. The only possibility is that a certain zone demon fruit power has changed. New World is indeed a terrifying sea, even the dragon fruit in the fantasy legend. But even if it is the legendary zone monster demon fruit power, they will not be afraid. Their pirate group also has a phantom beast species demon fruit power, although it is powerful, but it does not make them feel fear. What's more, they also have a monster captain. But at this time, Yuri's face became serious. Others don't know what this dragon is, how could Yuri not know? Arrange for everyone to evacuate immediately, Yuri said. Everyone is taking refuge, is this necessary, Captain? Bej was surprised. With the strength of the Gabriel Pirates Group, you can take refuge even before you start the fight. What is the origin of the opponent? That's it, Captain, who is this? Kemp asked in surprise. Kaido, the King of Beasts, Yuri said. Kaido of the Beasts, it turned out to be him. Robin exclaimed, opening his mouth wide. One of the three emperors, Kaido of the Beasts, Captain of Beasts Pirates. He turned out to be a zone monster with the ability to breed dragons and dragon fruits. No wonder it is called the strongest creature in the sea, land and air. Everyone was also shocked. When everyone was shocked, the air dragon opened its mouth, and the terrifying heat condensed in its mouth. Yuri's face changed when he saw it, and disappeared into the same place as soon as he stepped. At this moment, a horrible and extremely hot flame beam shot towards Gabriel City. Before the beam of light arrived, everyone felt a hot breath coming. As if the sun was falling towards them, everyone was sweating heavily. Such a terrifying beam of breathing light, there is such a temperature before it reaches, once it is hit by it, I am afraid that there will be no ash left. Are you going to die? Everyone in the Gabriel domain felt the fear of death at this time. At this moment, a figure appeared in the mid-air of Gabriel City. Don't arrogantly come on other people's territory, Shield of Psi. The visitor raised his hand and pointed at the breathing flame column. As the people came down, a huge colorless diamond-shaped crystal shield appeared, blocking the hot breath. Boom. The terrifying hot exhaling flame column impacted on the Shield of Psi's. The Shield of Psi's exudes infinite repulsive force, the breath of flame column is blocked, and he can no longer move forward. The Shield of Psi continuously impacted by the breath of flame pillar, but the diamond-shaped Shield of Psi did not move even when it moved. Even the breathing Yan pillar did not touch the Shield of Psi, and was repelled by a repulsive force. Huh. It's still a bit of strength, no wonder he was able to escape from the old monster man Linlin and Whitebeard. Finally Kaido stopped breathing and looked at Yuri as if he was re-evaluating Yuri. Block it. It's a terrible breath. It's great that someone can stop it, otherwise we will definitely be dead. It's the captain of the Gabriel Pirates. Great. If Captain Yuri takes the shot, there will be no problem. Long live Captain Yuri. At this time, whether it was a member of the Gabriel Pirate Group's outer front, or ordinary civilians who came to work in Gabriel City, all had a feeling of escaping from the dead. Robin immediately arranged for someone to evacuate. Yuri turned his head and said. Good. Robin should say. It's so daring to dare to look around in front of Lousy. The dragon swims in the sky and hits Yuri in a blink of an eye, and the dragon and tiger tail call Yuri fiercely. Female, comment. Kaido a dragon's tail fiercely in an electric shock on the Shield of Psi's in front of Yuri. The terrifying power immediately flew the Shield of Psi's and Yuri down. Yuri's Shield of Psi's has absolute defense against energy attacks, and the terrifying repulsion can disperse its repulsion and resistance before the energy reaches it. However, the power of physical attacks is much weaker. Especially in the face of terrorist attacks from monsters like Kaido. Kaido's physical strength after being transformed into a dragon is incomparable even with Big Mom, and the Shield of Psi broke with this blow. Asshole. Yuri, who flew upside down, pulled the Iron Sand Windbreaker on him, and the Iron Sand Windbreaker flew up and turned into a huge Mitsubishi spike. Overloaded electromagnetic cannon. Yuri Devil Fruit awakens, a large amount of magnetic field converges on the palm of his arm. With a powerful magnetic field, Yuri launched in one haul, hitting the huge Iron Sand Mitsubishi spike. This Iron Sand Mitsubishi spike turned into a speed of light, and instantly bombarded Kaido, who was in the state of a dragon. The speed is hundreds of times faster than the normal super electromagnetic gun. Boom. Boom. The Iron Sand Mitsubishi spikes kept hitting Kaido's body skin. The power of overloaded electromagnetic guns, the sharp spikes of Iron Sand Mitsubishi, and the sharp edges of Iron Sand vibrations constantly attacked Kaido. The black thunder and lightning continued to flicker at the impact, and sparks flew out. Audience. Under the constant impact of the overloaded electromagnetic cannon, Kaido finally let out a terrifying roar. Blood splashed out, and the Iron Sand Mitsubishi spike pierced Kaido's defenses, pierced Kaido's body, and then pierced Kaido's body instantly. The intense pain caused Kaido to roar in pain. Too much of it, Captain. That was San Juan Kaido of the Beast's Awe. The captain turned a hit on Kaido pierced the body. Such a heavy injury, even if it is Kaido I am afraid there is no way to live, right? Yuri went so far as to see a move would hit the Kaido. Everyone Gabriel Pirates were all surprised to open mouth. Do not know each other's identity better, but knowing each other's identity, and understand each other as a dreadful existence, so they know that Yuri is now doing dreadful things. That was Kaido of the Beast's Awe, one of New World San Juan, sea and air Kaido known as the strongest creature of the beasts. Turned out to be a hit the captain, body pierced. This time I am afraid that even the San Juan be dead now. Do they want to kill a captain today San Juan monster? But they underestimated Kaido. If Kaido so easy to kill, he will live to see the present. Kaido in San Juan is the only one who experienced the painful defeat, while the in more than once. Kaido likes suicide, like the heads up, he had many times a person alone to naval headquarters, to challenge Whitebeard. A dozen were arrested, sentenced to death dozens of times. But let Marine how to sentence him, even literally kill him. This is almost undead. It hurts damn it careless. Thundering sound from the mouth of the dragon. And just around the corner is punctured wounds scarred. Look at a wound on the left a scar, and Kaido finished speaking, etc. Even the scars are gone. This injury vanishes, monster it, exclaimed Ashby said. Gabriel Pirates face of other equally shocked. While it is known Kaido is a monster, but was still shocked it, but fatal injuries Roar. Gabriel Yuri for me to die. In the crowd in shock, I heard a roaring sound, I saw the dragon mildly speeding. Speed rushed toward Yuri. Yuri bit her toward a claw to beat. You think I'm afraid you not? 1,000,000 repulsion fist. He looked toward a quick photo down Alondra. Yuri also played the punch. Boom. They did not run into fists and claws, but between fists and claws was able to see an ultimate power of terror continues to strike. This power makes the air in constant vibration. A unit of terror shock, impact from all directions toward ever hit at. Who is this man? Ah, and the Captain Yuri could have hit this sake. I am not mistaken it, but the Captain Yuri and San Juan Big Mom can fight monsters. Ah. That is, Captain Yuri but let San Juan Big Mom. Marine hero Garp suffered losses of characters, which could have blocked the Dragon Captain Yuri attack. Does he really is not a fantasy dragon in? Gabriel City to work villagers were surprised again. But they met Yuri terror, seen him fight and Big Mom Garp, he knew he was in general there is a monster. But the sudden appearance of the dragon could have Dongsha his attack. Not only Dongsha, but it seems like Yuri and fighting a comparable way. Is it not a fantasy dragon mythology? This is a big shot. This time Spirited Battle said. Battle do not guessing who the other is. Lai Axe Jiafu Li asked. Surely you must have guessed it, can only monsters and monsters, he is known as the strongest armed monster creature. Batel said. Kaido of the Beasts. Eden said. 3 Kaido of the Beasts, exclaimed everyone else up. Goto Yao eyes flashed a bucket intended to kill cold. Boom. Yuri and local air Kaido impact, an extremely horrible shock wave blast off. Kaido and Yuri moved away to fly at the same time. Kaido of the Beasts. This is Yuri looked gloomy sky Kaido said. What, just Yuri Captain said Kaido of the Beasts, did not he is Kaido of the Beasts? The villagers heard the words of Yuri. One of San Juan Kaido of the Beasts, and no wonder the Captain Yuri able to fight on this part. Quick, run away, Kaido of the Beasts struck up. The villagers know each other in time as Kaido of the Beasts, suddenly realized, no wonder Kan and Yuri fight to this sake. The next moment of panic began to flee up. Even civilian Solomon Islands, Kaido of the Beasts know what a vicious exist, notoriously unreasonable guy. Ha ha ha, interesting, Gabriel Yuri, to stop it. Roaring sound from the mouth of the dragon. To fight, then come with me. Yuri said, at the foot of a bomb, body and flew sideways fast, Kaido wanted to lead from here. But Yuri has not been out long, suddenly stopped. Looked back and saw Kaido did not keep up, and I saw him lonko large sheet. An extremely hot breath on Gabriel rushed toward the spray away. Bastard Yuri thundered said. Dying? See Kaido did not leave with Yuri, but against Gabriel large sheet of Lonko City, Long Yan terror breath jet came toward them, and now far away from Yuri. Many people see this help are showing a look of despair. At this time, a man appeared in front of silent inflammation dragon breath, hands stretched to Long Yan breath blocked. Captain Yuri. Everyone cheered joy. Kaido of the Beasts. Yuri looked extremely angry Kaido said. There's fighting. How to fight? Lousy final say, you stay away, you think you are. Dare to command the Sea Emperor. Kaido grin against Yuri said. Kaido of the Beasts, you'll regret Yuri said coldly. Do I regret it? If you have the ability, you can try it. Kaido sneered when he heard Yuri's words. Huh, since you don't want to leave, then I will knock you out of here. Yuri took a deep breath, and his expression became extremely serious. The next moment Yuri disappeared in place, millions of repulsive punches. Yuri appeared beside Kaido instantly, hitting Kaido's dragon face with a punch. A wave of terrifying repulsion hit this Kaido. Ah! Kaido's huge dragon body was immediately knocked down flying out hundreds of meters. Broken. Kaido hadn't stabilized his figure, Yuri had already caught up with him again and punched him. It was also a 1,000,000 repulsive punch, which hit Kaido's face again and again. Kaido was knocked down again and flew out. Boom boom. Yuri kept chasing Kaido with his superb speed, hitting Kaido with 1,000,000 repulsive punches one after another. Every time Kaido was shot and flew hundreds of meters, it didn't take long for Yuri and Kaido to disappear from the sight of everyone on Solomon Island. Seeing the two disappeared, everyone on Solomon Island breathed a sigh of relief. It is finally safe now. In fact, Yuri wanted to use the expulsion directly to expel Kaido out of here. However, Kaido's body is too large to become a dragon, and it is almost impossible to drive Kaido out of the state of a dragon. So Yuri can only punch him with 1,000,000 repulsive force. Now Solomon Island is not the old Solomon Island. Even if the old Solomon Island was broken, Yuri would not feel a pity. But now is different. Now on Solomon Island, there is Gabriel City that Yuri spent a lot of resources and money to build. Although it is only half built, it will be very distressed if Yuri is broken. In order to build this Gabriel City, Yuri, they took their money. Even if there are 100,000 Homets soldiers as free labor, even if most of the materials used for construction are made on site, the cost of building a city is astronomical. Yuri not only took out all the treasures they had obtained during the first half of the Great Sailing Road during this period, but also borrowed many baileys from Bej. If Gabriel City is destroyed now, Yuri is really bankrupt. At least to re-establish it again, it will take a long time to wait. Yuri, who didn't want to lose all his efforts, naturally didn't want to fight here. Don't be too arrogant, kid. Kaido was completely angry when he was beaten out again. The power of Yuri's million repulsion punches is also not to be underestimated. If it weren't for his strong defensive power, if it weren't for his strong resilience, he would have been scummed long ago. And who is he? He is the three emperors of New World. He was beaten out again and again like sandbags. Doesn't he want face anymore? After so long, Kaido has begun to adapt to Yuri's speed. After being beaten up again, Kaido roared, "Thunder!" A large number of thunder and lightning roared from Kaido's mouth and shot towards Yuri, who was chasing him. No camera moving. Yuri quickly avoided. Yuri just avoided the thunder and lightning from Kaido's roar, steadying his body, and seeing a dragon and a tiger attacking him, Yuri was hit hard by the dragon's tail before he could escape. But fortunately, Yuri's body covered this layer of positive and negative relative force field, so it was just that his body was blown out severely without any injuries. Breath. Kaido caught up with Yuri, who was flying upside down, and the dragon's mouth sprayed huge breaths of dragon flames toward Yuri. Gap movement. Yuri suddenly disappeared silently while flying backwards. Seeing Yuri disappearing instantly, Kaido's eyes narrowed. Originally, he felt that he had adapted to Yuri's speed. But now Yuri's speed has once again greatly exceeded his estimation. Even this is no longer the speed of movement at all, is it space shuttle? The disappeared Yuri appeared beside Kaido instantly. Yuri lifted a palm and patted Kaido dragon lightly. This palm is so light that Kaido can't feel Yuri's slap. After a palm, Yuri immediately disappeared again innocently. Planetary devastation, black hole. At the moment Yuri disappeared, a terrifying gravitational force appeared. This gravitational force seems to be like a black hole, swallowing and twisting everything around it. Proud. Kaido let out a painful cry again. The 1-meter position of Kaido's body was constantly distorted, like a terrifying black hole, constantly devouring Kaido. Kaido Shenlong's body was constantly twisting, trying to break away from the twisted black hole attraction, but he couldn't break away anyway. After half a minute, the gravity slowly weakened, and Kaido broke free. Looking at Kaido's location attracted by the black hole's gravitational force again, he looked extremely miserable. The scales on the dragon's body were broken, and there were scars one after another. I don't know where Fanji was, and blood was covered there. Even with Kaido's resilience, there is no way to recover for a while. Kaido looked at Yuri coldly. This time he was hit hard by Yuri's hands for the second time. Especially this time, Kaido still has lingering fears. Kaido looked again at Yuri and said, "Gabriel Yuri, I want you to die." The words made Kaido Dragon's body tumble in the air, spit out a lot of clouds, and the surrounding clouds also gathered, and in a blink of an eye, the surrounding clouds were densely covering Yuri. Yuri looked around suspiciously, not understanding what Kaido meant by doing this. Although Yuri has also seen Kaido and the protagonist Luffy fight in the anime. But because of Luffy's lack of strength, and Kaido was still drunk at the time, I couldn't see how strong Kaido was. I only knew that Kaido's trick was called Thunder 8 Trigrams, which knocked the protagonist into a faint with one blow. The plot behind Yuri has not come out yet, so to him, Kaido's strength is actually unknown. Just when Yuri wondered what Kaido was doing so cloudy, Kaido's dragon moved. Fast, so fast, Kaido's speed in the clouds was beyond imagination, flashing like lightning, and a dragon claw had already hit Yuri's face. Sighing, shield. At the moment of crisis, Yuri blocked with both hands, and at the same time opened the shield of size in front of him. Kaido's dragon claws slammed heavily on the shield of size. A black thunder and lightning flashed on the dragon claw, and the terrifying armament Haki seemed to give him the supreme dragon claw Kamui. Bang! The shield of Sai shattered, and the dragon claw slammed Yuri's body severely. A terrifying force struck, and Yuri shot backwards. Thunder 8 Trigrams. After flying Yuri into the, only 4 words came out from Kaido's mouth. The so-called Thunder 8 Trigrams is actually a special armament Haki tactic, and it is an extremely high-level armed attack tactic. Just like Wanakuna's process, Garp's iron fists are all very clever armament Haki should have. This is a powerful attacking technique developed by the strong who have their own understanding of armament Haki. Since it is an armament Haki move, naturally not only the human form can be used, but the Kaido dragon form can also be used. Kaido uses the dragon claw as a mace, and the power is definitely not weaker than the human form. This thunderous 8 trigrams can greatly increase the user's speed, strength and explosive power. The attack also has the effect of dizziness, which is an extremely terrifying move. With Kaido's extraordinary weird power, coupled with the thundering 8 trigrams blessing, one can imagine how terrifying this move would be in Kaido's hands. Coupled with the wind from the tiger to the cloud from the dragon, Kaido, as the fruit of the dragon and dragon, has the ability to soar through the clouds and ride the fog. He has an unimaginable speed in the clouds. For a while, Yuri couldn't even escape, and was hit by Kaido. Even if Yuri controls the space movement like the gap movement, it takes time to initiate the gap movement. Yuri was hit and flew out. Fortunately, he still has positive and negative relative force field strength and armament hockey defense. With layers of defense, Yuri barely blocked the blow. At this moment, Kaido came again, with the same amazing speed, tearing open the clouds with one claw and hitting Yuri in front of him. Shinra Tianchong. Yuri punched fiercely at the moment of crisis. There was a bright light on his fist. As this repulsive force exploded, it turned into an unparalleled violent shockwave. Boom! Yuri's punch and Kaido's claws collided. Huh? Kaido looked surprised. His claw was beaten back by Yuri's fist. Before the force of this punch, the destructive power was so great that even Kaido was surprised by it. In terms of explosive power, it was not worse than his thunderous 8 trigrams. Million Repulsion Fist and Shenluo Tianzhong are both moves developed with repulsion. The attack of a million repulsive force is like a wave, and the attack layer after layer is full of stamina. The Shenluo Tianzhong is an instantaneous explosive force, which bursts out a powerful repulsive force instantly, thereby erupting a terrifying force. However, the outbreak of Shenluo Tianzhong was too violent, and there was no way to control it. The application of power is also very rough, only a simple burst, the attack power is too scattered. Such an attack is good for ordinary people, and it is difficult to cause any real harm to Kaido against a strong person like Kaido. However, as Yuri's repulsion control became stronger and stronger, Yuri also had a certain degree of control over Shinra Tianzhong. From attacking indiscriminately from all directions, to attacking in one direction. After the last battle against Sengoku Garp, Yuri was in a coma for 10 days, but after waking up, he found that his mental power was strengthened again by the stimulation of that battle. This gives him a stronger control of gravity by repulsion. At this time, under the threat of Kaido, Yuri condensed the repulsive power of Shinra Tianzhong on his fist, and then immediately rushed out. This punch exploded with terrifying power. Shinra Tianzhong, the sky collapsed. Yuri was also stunned by this punch, and then punched again. The same as Shenluo Tianzhong, but this punch is different from the Skywrath just now. Boy, don't be too arrogant, I'm Kaido of the Beasts. Kaido also hit the 8 trigrams again, the same thunderous 8 trigrams, and the dragon claws carried horrible thunder and lightning, exuding an aura of destruction. In an instant, their fists and dragon claws collided. At the moment of the impact, Yuri's fist exploded. The terrifying repulsion instantly exploded from Yuri's fist. Although the repulsion is not a powerful force, such a powerful repulsion exploded in an instant, producing a force beyond imagination. In an instant, the fist burst into the sky, and an invisible violence destroyed everything. Huh? Roar. Kaido showed an expression of disbelief and pain. Under the invisible violence of Yuri's punch, Kaido's dragon claws and even the entire dragon arm were cracked apart inch by inch. The huge body shot out like a rocket, and the corners of his mouth spewed huge blood. Saint Luo Tianzhong, God is angry. Yuri ignored the pain of his fist because of the move just now. With his palms pressed together, the terrifying repulsion was brewing in his Shuangtang general. When Yuri's hands were opened, a colorless energy ball was seen spinning between Yuri's hands, and the invisible repulsive force in the energy ball was chaotically twisted. Yuri pushed both palms, and the ball of light in the palm instantly opened the space and disappeared in front of him. Boom! A ball of light appeared next to Kaido when it shot backwards, and the ball of light expanded and exploded as soon as it appeared. A huge mushroom cloud envelops Kaido's entire huge dragon body. The mixed repulsion in the mushroom cloud tears everything apart. Audience. Kaido let out a terrifying roar, with intense pain in the roar.